We'll make it work.
All right, 3, 2, 1, Jerry.
Suck by Station is Jay.
What's going on? It's your boy M-Max Rich, and this is
Keep in Mind.
All right, today is Sunday, April. Oh shit, August.
August
13th.
Buroski, where are you? Last week, I said last year. Look, you got me.
See, there you go.
Last week, my man was in June. You was in he was in June.
Going back in time.
Now he's going to April.
Going back in time.
You know what's interesting about April? You met somebody really, really nice and cool and calm and collected in April, so maybe.
Might be connected. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So maybe, you know what I mean, like,
shout out to her.
Got to know somebody really closer in April. So maybe that's where you coming from. You know, April is like significant for this man this year, y'all. I mean, so
it's not April 1st, is it?
No.
So it's not a joke.
April Fool's.
No. I'm not. Listen, I do not lie on this show, bro. My man had a very, very important life change happen to him in April. You know.
Send us a text and put us on.
Right.
Send us a text. Like,
I mean, he can tell you right now, if anything, you know.
Nah, we ain't gonna speak on that. We have a married couple.
Okay.
I missed the email.
We can talk about that after the show.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Send us the link.
But in the meantime, in between time,
Send us the link.
in the meantime, in between time, all right, real quick.
Nah, listen. Before we get into anything, bro.
Jerry, so what up?
What's good? What's
Yeah,
good?
we live right now.
Before we
I don't know
get into
IG. Make sure you click the link I'm about to put up right now, and then watch it on YouTube. Comment on there.
Pull up.
Oh, there you go. Got our first married couple on the show.
You're
All right. All right.
Yes, sir. Put your volume down, please. Yo, before we get into like any topics or anything, bro, we have to talk about this
Before we
ridiculousness.
do that,
What?
Let's introduce them.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Let me bring up the topics and then we all gonna get into it.
But I want to say, all right, go ahead. We have a married couple here today. Please let us know who you are, what you guys do, and then Jerry can get into what he was ready to speak about.
perfect. My name is Eric Banks. Originally from Long Island, New York.
Hey.
I
Island in the
am
building.
an educator on the island, which is a privilege that I have an opportunity to serve our youth. I'm a coach, mentor, a minister, all the above. I wear a lot of hats, and this is my lovely wife.
Kalia Banks. Grateful. Sorry, my man.
You already know.
Again, super grateful to be here with you guys. My name is Kalia. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised from the sty. You know,
BK.
I'm Billy Rock on Patch and Ab.
Literally.
My wife's from Brooklyn. So I
For
agree. So y'all
real?
got that energy.
Love that. I love that, yo.
I got that energy.
And I work in higher education administration. Super involved with just like youth development, growth, etc. And I just love the fact that I'm able to wear many hats, right? Being a wife, a sister, God willing, a mother one of these days. You feel me? And so I'm happy to be here with you guys and to be connected. So let's get it. Let's get
right.
it raw.
Aren't you a singer too?
I do sing, yeah. So
A singer.
I do. I've been singing since I was 5, but
Professional.
I sing praise and worship at my church in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You want to hit a little something right now or
Oh,
no?
you're wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
just so I can hear you.
I mean, that's
Listen, he didn't ask. I asked, all right?
Oh,
Jerry has
okay.
asked if you could just
Okay,
just
okay,
twice.
I got it. God is able to do just what He said He would do.
Cut it. That's it.
I said, who is about to start praising him? No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But
That was absolutely
Was it
beautiful.
on key? I don't even know.
Oh my, listen,
I've been
what?
singing all day, bro. Today at the church, like
That was
mad people
perfect.
was here.
That was
BB
perfect.
Winans, like mad.
What?
Everybody.
It was an honor. Like it was it was our
Wow.
pastor's birthday today.
That's
so,
dope.
yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
70,
Yeah,
and he looked like he's 25.
Man, listen.
Anywho,
Black on crack? Is
and,
it-
the melanin, the melanin.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, we glisten. We don't just glow, we glisten, baby.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we are very happy to have you here today, the both of you guys. Shout out to educators and those who are guiding the youth.
Absolutely.
Little kids, bro.
Absolutely.
But we want to get into these topics. But before we get into these topics, my boy Jerry had something he wants to discuss. All right.
Bruh, a few things. But first thing in line, and I remember you when this came up this whole week, Rich, and that is this Montgomery thing that happened with the brawl,
Yo.
bruh. Because the reason why I say I remember Rich is because for the longest, Rich has been talking about there being in the future some kind of race war. Like he's been talking about a race war on the midst of. And I don't know, but if there is anything that is the first shot heard around the world, I would say it would be the Montgomery ball, bro.
It would be that chair.
It would be that chair. The chair heard around the world. For me, it was just.
You not familiar with it?
What happened?
Bro,
like I've been seeing the chair. What happened?
Are we bringing up what this
I'm not
Are we bringing up what this
Like I've seen the chair,
saw the
seen the
memes.
jokes, but I don't
We saw
know
the
really
memes.
what
You been
happened.
working out at the gym.
Rich, you wanna
Just like a
dive into this a little
bullet
bit?
point, like give me the please, because I'm like
All right, well,
slightly confused.
basically at the Alabama Riverboat, which does tours for people who come to Alabama or live in
Yeah.
Alabama, one of the boats was trying to dock, but these rich Caucasian people,
A casino boat.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a casino boat.
It was a casino boat.
But it was trying to dock. It was trying to dock, and because I think it's like two of them that are usually in the river at a time, and one was already in this. One was trying to like back out into his place or whatever, and these people had their own boat, and the black guy that you see that initially got jumped, he was security, like he was part of like the.
Whoa.
He worked for the Alabama
worked-
Riverboat,
okay.
and he was telling them, "You have to move your boat. You have to move your boat. You have to move your boat," and they came and pressed him about it. And then it turned into fisticuffs, you know. You know what I mean?
Dang.
They tried
The
to jump
signal
him.
was thrown.
Yeah,
Shout out to Bobby
they
Schmurder.
said some fighting
I mean, it's not fighting words. They attacked him.
They wasn't fighting words. They was
attacked-
fighing fists.
Yeah, they attacked him.
When you say nothing, they threw a fist.
No, they were talking at first. They were
Yeah.
talking at first, but
Mhm.
the talking led to like they thought they were deep, and they decided to try to jump
Not
it.
deep enough.
They-
Hey, yo.
if nobody came to help him,
Right.
that's just funny.
I gotta grow up.
You stop.
I'm sorry. Listen,
She said not deep enough.
I was like,
Hey,
Yo.
This is the marriage.
So basically, I love it.
like he said, do the signal, the bat signal,
Yeah.
the black signal.
Yeah.
He said, cuckoo.
wait, how we go? Let me see. No.
My man tossed his hat in the air
Yeah.
like Bobby Schmurder, and it never came back down. I don't think it ever came back down. Did it?
Man.
Did
I
anybody
didn't
see it come back down? Because I didn't see it come back down,
One
bro.
of the trees out
It just makes this
Somewhere.
guy, bro. I don't know what kind of talent these guys have, but they are able to toss a hat in the air and it defies
I'm not gonna
gravity.
hold
It
you.
doesn't come back. It
I
doesn't
really
come
think
back.
they do Showtime on the A train in the city.
That's a
Because
fact.
you know the guys who do Showtime, like it goes crazy,
they
it
go
go up in
crazy
the air,
with that.
and you don't see that joint come down. They catch it.
Yo,
They get crazy.
yo.
So-
But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because again, Rich has been talking about this for the longest, and I'm like, yo, if there's any like example of like how like kind of racism showed its face, right? Its ugly face. And it kind of immediately got put it back in its place, right? Because we're not living in the time that we used to live in which people were quiet, like people would just watch. So I was just like, yo, if Rich is right about this, and this is the scary part, but if he is right about this, and this is kind of like the first step, what better place for it to happen than Montgomery, Alabama, bro? What better place
Historically.
for this thing to happen
That's deep.
than one of the most?
Well, I'm gonna
Not in Montana. That's like what's happening?
I'm gonna say, as far as that, I'm gonna say that I
hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yo.
I hope I'm wrong. And then two, I would hope that I can attribute this more to. I'm not gonna lie, for the white people, it might be some racism shit, or it could have just been some drunk shit. For the black people, they were just defending a black man being jumped by a
Yes.
group of white people.
Which is the
It might
reason
not
why
even-
I'm
they didn't
so
know
proud.
him. No, they didn't know him.
They didn't know the guy.
Oh, I thought it was like
No. This guy was working. He was doing his job.
Only the kid that swam across the river knew the guy because
That's where the meme came from.
he worked for the riverboat stuff too, supposedly. Huh?
Nah, the swimming, the memes that came out of it.
Aquaman. Yeah.
He swam.
Black woman.
He jumped off the other riverboat.
Black woman.
He literally jumped off the other riverboat
Yo, that's
into
my-
the and the thing is down south there's a lot of gators. See, that boy was lucky.
That boy
in my
was
opinion,
wildin'.
there's a lot of gators down
Then
south.
he ain't come back with a nub.
He didn't come back at he came back at all. You know what I mean?
So y'all saying y'all would have jumped in if y'all would have peed?
I would
Right,
have
that's a valid question.
I swim with
He swim.
but alligators.
You wouldn't have been Aquaman?
Not in the water.
Nigga, there's there's gators in there. Like, matter of fact, I'll find out if there's gators in the Alabama River. If there are, I definitely would have jumped in. I'd be like, what?
There probably are.
I'm
Man. I don't know if it's in Alabama. Maybe Florida. I would understand
know.
gators
You
being
don't know.
in Florida.
It's right down there.
Alabama ain't nothing but catfish in the river, brother.
Huh?
Ain't nothing but catfish in the
Who
Alabama
knows?
river.
Who knows? Who knows?
Trying to get bit by anything.
There you go. There you go.
But I was pretty much proud about it. I was
very proud.
I was very proud that we actually stood up for each other. You know, it was
Yeah.
it could have very well been like, to me, I don't know. People were saying that I'm a little crazy for thinking this way, but this could have very well went George Floyd. I believe so, especially with the whole group of them jumping him like that. If anyone stood by and no one jumped in and helped, this
There
could
we
have
go.
very turned. This could have turned left.
And
Black.
and if I could jump in real quick, like the whole idea of the bystander effect, right? Like you're standing by watching
Waiting for
in
somebody.
hopes that somebody
else does
is
something,
going
yeah.
to step in. Now, obviously, right? Like God willing, like we don't condone violence, like we don't want anyone to get hurt physically. But the fact that someone is being physically abused and to stand by and watch it happen
That'd be
is
crazy.
another story.
Is
you
another
know?
story.
So
Right.
the bystander effect is real, and
It is
and
real.
people,
Right.
you know, fight or flight, right?
When we band
Like,
together, we can
that's
make
it.
things happen, man.
Facts.
I'm really happy that we did, and I'm happy that it didn't turn into anything deadly. It didn't turn into any. It was honestly just a good old brawl between two groups of people who are just like, who have stuff that we need to work out in America, and we need to work out amongst each other. We just need to work these things out, and it's not gonna just go away. You know, like this stuff is here. It's embedded
Talk about it, bro.
in the fabrics of what we call America. So I was just proud. Like, you know, I was just proud. Nobody got really
Real talk.
seriously hurt. I mean, the guy with the chair went a little too hard with the lady at the last part, but he still did his thing, bro.
Yo, God bless.
He still did his thing.
God bless.
Remember that? You remember that?
My man was, bro.
And if not that,
Chair jitsu is crazy.
He was hitting it right with the chair.
Jitsu.
Yeah, you know what the guy said? It's been 4 years.
It's been 4 years.
My chair jitsu.
My man was spinning the chair on his hand, bro.
It's one of those when you get an award, you be like,
Yo, OD.
that's all you gotta do. Like,
But besides that, that was
My bad. I just wanted to start off on that side of a note, just to make sure we touch up on
no, definitely
something that's
important.
happening right now.
That was definitely a very vital thing to mention, because we definitely said Black had made a video. Our other host, shout out to him, he's in Mexico right now.
yo, get okay.
Happy belated birthday to his girlfriend. What's it called? He had made a video saying that we were gonna discuss it because memes have been funny and everything like that. But we do have to make sure that we put a serious note on it, that like
Keep in mind.
yeah, like keep in mind, like we can't really have shit like that happening when we don't defend each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you guys said, like it's very important that we are there to support each other. In a situation like that, I'm glad that the black guy was in no wrong. Everybody who was arrested has been released. Even the guy with the chair. He's been released as well.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And they sent thousands of dollars to that young boy who swam across the water.
Yeah, he's making
They're trying to
bread.
keep his identity hidden because we don't want
safety and all the
retaliation.
above, correct.
He's only 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
16 years old.
Yeah.
What a make, yo, God bless his mother.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one
She raised him
whoever
right.
his caretaker,
Yeah,
whomever. God bless them for real.
And he got it popping.
He took off his shoes.
He got out the water and got it popping.
And got-
Like slamming niggas and all that. I was
If
like,
your
yeah.
boy could Harlem Shake,
Yeah.
if that was a thing, I'm sure he would have got crazy.
Yo, my dude, he's the star of the whole brawl, bro. He's the star.
Actually, the chair's a star.
The chair's
that
a
white
star?
chair.
That's true.
There's been video of people going to the Alabama River, finding a white chair, and be like, "This is the chair," and they taking pictures with the chair and all of that. This shit is nuts.
Bro, and for the chair to be invented by a black guy is
Let's talk
even,
about it.
even,
The amount of
better.
chair rentals for the baby showers, barbecues,
Chair business is
weddings.
I heard Walmart put
We
the
didn't
chairs
invest.
out front and down south now. They put the folding
Look
chairs.
at my
We
black
thought
ass
this was
chairs.
chairs.
Chair rentals. If y'all want this shit,
Listen.
Yo.
But on another note,
Yes,
we do want to get into our
Real
topic.
quick.
Jerry said that. I know I have a few questions as well, but Jerry, you said you had some questions that you wanted.
Well, yes.
You
You know,
wanna get
since you
started
guys are like really the first married couple we have here. How long have
Wait,
you
for
been guys
real?
been?
Yo, we traveled
Yes.
with the
First,
baby.
bro?
First married couple.
First married couple together on this show.
yo, nobody I feel know. You feel me? Gang.
Yo, y'all got a whole.
Gang.
Wait.
Jamaican on Friday.
Was that a whole dap? Or did y'all just make that?
Nice.
No, that's our joy. We gotta
Jamaican on
look.
Friday
Get
night.
out of here. No,
Black, you got a representative.
Man.
Black, you got a representative.
Oh, bedroom.
Oh, with no
Don't
socks.
play.
So what are you when it's not Saturday? What's your background?
So, where from?
I gotta go back on that, the family
Tree?
tree.com.
No, 23andMe.
Something, because I really don't.
What are your parents?
You don't.
Panamanian, we got Cherokee people, Blackfoot,
She's Panamanian.
Y'all see the waves? You got the percent. Baby, you went too far just now.
My man says zoom in on the diet.
We got another Panamanian over there.
Yes.
Okay,
Panamanian
baby.
in the
Yo,
building.
I had the best nameplate from Panama ever when I was 6.
But I'm like 5% though, so I don't really. I rep it because that's the only flag that I have. You know what I'm saying?
Everything else, yo, guys, a Panamanian on the couch is saying, wow, really?
Hey, babe, come on,
Yo, but
man.
my kids are gonna be, from Jamaica.
said, wow.
My beautiful wife is from Jamaica.
All right.
We're gonna rep Jamaica. We're gonna
We
rep
Jamaican, Black American,
Just
you
say-
know me?
just say
Black,
Y'all kids gonna be Jamaican and Panamanian. Boom.
Boom.
There you go. There you go.
Boom.
But like,
That makes sense.
you gotta honor the American side too.
I mean,
for me.
Panamanians are black.
Yes, I'm not saying, I'm not negating the blackness. I'm talking about the Black American side. There's Black American, there's Caribbean American.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
You are not lying about that.
You know,
My family's from down south, so that's.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And when you from
My roots are
Brooklyn,
from down
you like
south.
naturally adopted to be Caribbean, like whether you wanted to or
Yeah,
not.
that's very true.
That's a fact.
These are
So-
all facts.
So yes,
When you
glad I
from, when
know
you from
that's
Uniondale,
right.
it's the same thing. My town in Uniondale.
Oh, you from the island?
No. Which island? Yes.
Yeah.
Long Island,
I was
yeah.
raised out here. I was born in Brooklyn though.
Let's be specific.
Yeah, I was born.
Yeah, Manhattan is the island. We call Manhattan the island. Man. We call Manhattan the island.
We call this Long Island.
We call it Strong Island, Long Island.
But I was born in Brooklyn. Came out here when I was 6 or 7, and then I'm from Long Island. You know what I mean? I'm from
Okay,
Long
got
Island.
it.
Yeah,
I'm from
yeah.
Queens. My
Yeah.
wife is from
Okay.
Brooklyn.
Love that.
Yeah, live here now. You know what I'm saying?
It was a question
on the
mark.
island.
No, it's all good. You
Yeah,
good.
we be getting
I think Jerry asked y'all how long
Yes. So how long have you guys been married for?
5 years.
5
This
years.
July 4th.
Let's make some noise for 5 years. y'all.
5 years.
Let's make some noise for
Alright.
5 years, man.
I want coming off that question.
Yes, sir.
One of our first topics outside. One of our we have topics all
Just
together.
go
Yeah,
for
it.
my bad. But I was coming up with these on my way here. I wanted to ask you guys. I wanted to ask you guys what made you decide that this was the person that you wanted to marry.
Great question.
That's a great question. Great question. So, it all started in 2009.
Hold on, you gotta speak up, player.
Yeah, yo, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, real sexy, real quick. Like,
All the time. And it's when they talk about their Bluetooth, they be like,
Calm down.
yo, they get like, yo, 2009, right? Ice cream was melting down my chest to my nipples.
Wait, you want to open the top up? Let's go.
Chill. Today's Sunday.
Yo, that's how Panamanians get? All right, let me find out.
That's in my blood. So, in 2009, I met this beautiful young lady in college. And I'm going to skip forward. She was the first girl I met on campus, which is crazy.
Wow.
So years later, developing friendship. She's like my ride or die. Like, I could be me with her. And she's the only person I could be me. And that's always been like a trigger for me. Like, I had to be somebody else for everybody else, but I could be my true self with this young lady. So I'm like, yo, that's fire to me. That I'm drawn to you now. Years later, I was always attracted to her. I would always try to kiss her in college. You know, I hit up in the parties, doing whatever I do.
That's what it is.
I never shot
your wave?
I never shot my shot though in college. That's the key part.
Not fully.
Not fully.
Were you afraid?
What college is this, by the way?
We went to SUNY
Seward Court,
Portland.
baby, we're dragons.
Gang. And yeah.
Yes. So to answer the question, the reason why I chose her to be my wife, because of that whole I could be me, to show the vulnerability. I could cry. I could laugh. I could just be real.
Not too much, though.
Real.
Too much crying.
Nah, I mean, I'll be weeping, bro. You see this?
Talk your talk, Eric. Talk your talk.
You better cry.
All of it. All of it.
With the sniffles and everything?
Bro,
Relax.
like,
Ugly.
I need you to hold.
Never ugly in my eyes, but
Listen.
like, you know what I'm saying.
The ugly cry.
The biggest thing as a husband, and I learned this, like, you gotta be able to be you, because you're everything to the world. Like I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm so many things in a lot of places.
Uncle,
but when I
brother,
come
son.
home, I gotta take all that off, and I gotta be in a place that I can be vulnerable, I can be weak, I don't have to be strong all the time. So, seeing how my parents had a marriage that I observed, and I said, what do I want in my marriage? I want to be me, and be safe. Like, marriage to be a safe space, and that's really where I came up.
That's
Besides all the
Papa.
beauty, but that's the honest truth too. why I chose this one.
That's good, Pop. You feel me?
Kalia, right?
Yeah.
Kalia.
Kalia and Eric.
With a C.
Kalia and
Eric with a C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Got
All
it.
that
Not with a
K
K.
stuff gotta go.
Kalia, why did not
CH.
not why did, besides why did you accept? Why did you choose him?
Very valid. So first thing that I'll say is that Eric, he always just made me feel like comfortable. And really allowed me to be myself and accepted that. So all aspects of me, right? He accepted when I was confident. He accepted when I had my insecurities. He accepted when I cried, when I laughed. He accepted when I was unsure of myself. And to be honest with you, he was never afraid, even when he knew that it wasn't the time for us to be together, to tell me how he felt. Like, listen, I'll never forget this. This was my sophomore year, 2010. He texted me and he said, like, listen, I feel like we're meant to be together, but this is not the time. Right? And
My man knew it.
and he knew, and I love that because he was so focused on where he felt like he needed to be, where God needed him to be, that he was willing to sacrifice his own feelings to get to the goal, to reach the mark. And so the ambition was attractive. Aside from his, good looks, good eyes, all of the above, from the neck down to the bottom of the soles, feet. But
with no socks on, he's
you
still on.
feel me? No, you feel me? No anklet. You feel me? No anklet.
Lotion though.
Yo, fat girl.
Lotion is important on the ankles, my brother.
Yo, my boy,
lotion is important on the ankles.
My boy wasn't afraid to get pedicures. You feel me? And I'm gonna say this: he talked so highly about the women in his life.
Ooh, that's
Let me
good.
tell you something.
That's good.
And was super passionate about not only the women but his nieces and nephews, family oriented, God fearing, etc. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't prompted to figure out, okay, well, this is what I need. No, he showed me. Whenever I didn't think I looked good, even as a friend, he would tell me, like, yo, like, you really look nice today. Like, different things like that. So
you didn't look for what you needed. He showed you what you needed.
there we go. He showed me. And even when he wasn't
Did you ever have a list?
a list of
Did you ever have a list of your ideal man?
no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Even like, even when people say, like, oh, do you have a type, or was there somebody
Right.
that you was? No, I was and this is full transparency, I was checking for anybody who was checking for me. That's number one
At that time.
at the time.
That's true.
But then after that, like, if you check for me, you showed interest, etc., then I will give you the time of day to then see who you are beyond that. Right? And that's real talk. So I'm not a person, and I was very like, I give, as he tells me, like, I give off confidence, but I was internally insecure.
Yep.
And he brought different parts out of me that I'm like, oh, I second guess, like, yo, are you interested in me? Like, I second guess that.
Yeah, she asked
Because
me.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
You were asking why he was interested in you.
Like, why?
And the biggest thing with that was I knew what would be her flaw would be the attention part. Like, I didn't want to give her false attention. That's what guys do. We play the game.
Yeah.
If I play the game long enough, she'll buy in, right? I know who I am and I know who she was, her value. So I was like, Lord, I would never try to bring her to a place and just like damage her. That's what we do as men sometimes. We provide damaged goods. And then we just put it to the trash sometimes.
Let me write that down.
You were just like,
Write it down. So then I knew what I could do to her. So I knew myself at the time of being immature. My focus was sports and college. I was like, it can't be the right time because then my focus won't be on her and what she would need. I wouldn't give her enough attention that she's seeking for because everything else was in my way, in my face. And I want to be in college. I want to be the athlete, be the face of the program, and be a student. How about that?
Yeah, that's
A lot of my boys were.
Get
A
out
lot of
of
my
here.
boys who had girlfriends.
I caught that.
A lot of my boys who wanted that life with girls and relationships, they had like 2.1 GPAs, and they were doing terrible. And I ran track, so they sacrificed what I wanted for that. And at the time, I didn't want to flip flop that life.
I'm not.
I wanted the GPA, and I wanted to be the best on the track. So
we've definitely spoke about that. Me and my boy Black. My focus was definitely on women growing up, and I felt as though that was a detriment to me. You know what I mean? Because I like education wise, like it was fairly
Right.
I do well as far as school and
Gotcha.
everything.
Gotcha.
So but I will say that I probably would have been like a valedictorian if I wasn't
Bruh,
focused on
that's a lot of work.
women.
Other things.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was heavily focused on women for a majority of my life, and I'm glad that when I started to learn myself, I kind of fell back from that a little bit. But that's definitely beautiful. Jerry,
Yes.
what was your next question?
Oh,
Before I go to my
my
next.
next question. You know, I'm gonna get spicy out here. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Now the first married couple.
I'm gonna keep it
I'm not
real.
gonna hold you up.
You listen to it. I'm here.
Bro.
I have questions.
You fight out.
I need questions. You fight out ice.
Bro, disclaimer. One thing that we are very big
Ain't
on
nothing
is
spicy.
authenticity,
Yeah, man.
realness, right?
love
We
that.
value our relationship in God, but also our relationship in being transparent
Talk your
and
talk.
who we are.
Talk
So,
your talk.
Y'all better get a notebook.
I
We
often
drop down,
feel like
bro.
when people say that they're godly, like being godly. First of all, you guys are married, so you guys can do everything now. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
Talk about it.
People,
Talk.
godly people who are very religious often act like are sometimes a little prude. In the sense of like they don't want they act like granted if you're a person that doesn't want to speak on certain things,
Right.
that's just because
That's on you. Yeah,
don't
yeah.
blame God for the reason why you can't.
Yeah.
If you're in a marriage or in a relationship,
Yeah.
then if you're married,
Yes.
according to the Lord,
Right.
if you're married,
There you go.
you can engage in those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I'm a plug in and graciously give a little different perspective, right? We and how we've been raised and shaped, and our mindset is not about religion is religion, right? Whether you are Christian, Jewish, Muslim, etc. Where us it's a relationship, right? Our personal relationship with God is who is and the walk that we follow is what we follow. It's not necessarily a doctrine. It's not necessarily a written script as to how it's supposed
One
to be.
and be all.
Yeah,
Right?
I get
So
you.
we believe in our relationship that we
Yeah.
have with God. And yes, we identify as Christian, but we don't necessarily subscribe, if I can say this, correct me if I'm wrong, babe, like subscribe to a certain, like, it's written this way,
You
and this is
have to
how
follow.
it's supposed to be.
What denomination are you guys?
Non-denominational.
Okay.
Right?
Jesus is Lord. Period.
Yeah, that's what we believe. And so with that said, when
Jesus
we
Lord.
talk or whatever, we're not necessarily, we're human.
Yeah.
We're human first. But then we make the decision to believe in God.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'll preface it with that. Like, we real talk. Like, it's
Yeah.
nothing.
You know what I read this morning? I was read it this morning. What? And it was like
You
Be
read?
careful what you say. Be careful what you say out here on that.
no, it was on Instagram. But I read it to her, and it was like people worship and pray to an unseen God, and treat nature horrible, not understanding that the nature that they're treating horrible is the actual God that they're experiencing.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? That's kind of deep.
It
It's
is
kind of
deep.
deep.
It
You know
is
what I mean?
deep.
Like
Yes, it
that's
is, young man.
That's kind of fire. But Jerry, come on, Jerry.
That's good. Then we can go another direction with that.
Jerry.
We put that in the parking lot. We gonna hit that. Like, that's good. Next episode.
He's gonna have questions for you guys too, because he's definitely interested in the married life. He's mentioned plenty of times before that that's the road he's definitely looking for. So like Rich, man, like
Excellent.
this is gonna be good for you, just as it's gonna be good for me.
Before he does ask his question, I want to ask you, what age group are you guys in? Your 20s, your 30s?
Good question.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You don't have to say your exact age.
No, I don't mind.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm
We don't
transparent.
mind. Okay.
So let's go with this so that the people understand. We met when we were 18.
When did you start? When you guys get married?
We got married at
26.
25, 26.
Okay,
26.
so you're 31.
Right? We're 32.
32.
Well, I'm 32.
I'm turning 32 in October.
Respect your elders. I'm 30.
So she's older too.
Cool girl.
I'm a couple months.
My wife is older
Just
too.
only a couple months.
By a couple
But I only say that to say I think it's important to
Can't wait to
understand.
do that.
Respect your elders is crazy.
Where we met.
I love them all.
Where we connected and where we're established now. That's important to know. Like, you see somebody through a transitional period,
process,
right? From
boy.
18 to 32
Yeah,
goes
talk it, talk.
crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It does.
And so I just need to give that background. I think that's important.
And I didn't want her to have the 18-year-old me.
That's good.
Because that was the Panamanian you. That was you running wild with your shoes, no socks.
Sometimes no shoes.
Sign me up. That's funny as fuck.
My man is just going up to the
You don't
pretty
deserve that virgin. You deserve
the
something
pretty
better.
little lady them.
So you the virgin at 18?
Actually, I was.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was.
And
That's
wait,
crazy how I didn't mean it that way.
let me plug that in.
And I said,
Same.
You were too?
yeah.
You guys didn't lose your virginity to each other, did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Which
alright.
is, that's a story behind
That's
our
another
marriage.
one. But again, part two. Go ahead,
No,
bro.
Rich, we're getting good here. I'm like just what? Turn around and watch it. What you guys are talking about? Gee.
No. We need to.
All right.
Listen, it's overtime for that.
Yo, they got something good going on here.
Ice. I'm keeping it cool today. Go ahead. You go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, I'm not gonna start too crazy, but all right. So in your marriage, right?
Yes.
I'm going to ask who leads in the relationship in the marriage, and I'm not gonna say, and I don't want you guys to, and I don't want anybody to say that we both lead. No, when it comes to a roadblock that you guys have, who makes that final decision on how we move forward from that point?
Would you mind if I tweak that question? Because that was definitely one of my questions.
Okay.
All right. I'm
Let's tweak it.
gonna tweak it just a little bit.
Okay.
Because I do feel like we've discussed plenty of times on the show that there's
Take us there.
and what roles do you guys take leadership in your marriage?
That's good.
Because
That's really good.
to say that there's
We just
one
spoke
leader
about
in a
it.
marriage is kind of we've definitely discussed how like there's not one leader. You know what I mean? People take
If we have discussed it,
roles.
Rich, then I have definitely said plenty of times on the show, there has to be one leader. It does not
have said
work
that.
well
You have said that.
if there are two leaders.
And answer
Go
his
ahead.
question first. Answer his question first, and here we go. Yeah, answer
So
his
here we
question
go.
first.
Papa got it.
It can't be one leader because there's situations where the leader has a weakness where the other person has to make up and lead in
Say
that
that.
situation.
Say that,
So,
Pop.
one of my weaknesses is the social. She's a social butterfly, and there's certain instances where I don't want to be the leader because sometimes when you lead too much, it drains you too.
Daunting.
So it becomes a partnership and not a I'm above and you beneath. That's what I believe marriage is. For those of you watching, it has to be a equal partnership. But I hear what you're saying. That at the end of the day, if it's a hard decision,
That's why I gave the example.
The
Yeah.
answer to
If
that-
you come to a
the answer
roadblock,
to
you
that-
can't both be on some.
the
We're
answer
both
to
leaders
that,
here.
and I believe she will trust me, is me.
Correct.
And that's more of a spiritual. I'm her covering, not her lid. Write that down.
I'm her covering
Yo,
now.
my man-
That's
Yo,
good.
you are a minister. My man,
Wait,
my man said right
when
there
you-
now.
When you
So-
ready, when you ready, tap me in.
I say that because I take full responsibility of what happens in my home.
Say that again.
I take full responsibility. What happens inside and what happens on the outside. So I know I could trust my wife. When we both leave out and we come back, she said, honey, how's your day? How's your day? Everything that happened that day, I have to make sure that once we start a new day, that everything's back to where it needs to be. Are you good? I'm good. Is the money right? Everything has to be, and I have to make sure that everything is operating. And we got to talk about it. So here's another, last part is be the covering and not the lid. Tap.
Got it. So
Tag
I
team
will,
match
I will
out
say
here.
this.
Let's go.
I know that. Thank you, Papa. I know that when
Lemon.
yeah, it has lemon. He's allergic to citrus.
Sure.
It's
See,
okay.
I asked about
it's beautiful.
allergies. I asked
It's
about-
beautiful,
so I
bro. No
asked
worries.
specifically
Don't worry.
about
Panamanian. I
allergies.
can't.
Oh, dear.
Panamanian in you?
Is
that a thing? That's a thing?
Look at mad random. I don't know anybody else in the world.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get
So,
Yeah,
some.
so no worries, bro.
Erica, can you tell her to make a regular cup of water for him?
Yeah, just a regular,
Appreciate
just a
it,
regular.
y'all.
Thank you,
We
bro.
have a
Thank you,
citrus
Mama.
allergy.
Wait,
here.
in a
We
different
don't
cup
know.
though.
In a different cup?
Different cup,
I
because.
got you.
Thank y'all.
So, when it comes to managing, etc., so he actually teaches a marriage and family
Which is
class,
really funny.
right?
In school.
And so funny. I'll be in the middle of my day working at my desk. He'll call me on speaker.
Yep.
Be like, honey,
In front of
who's
class.
the head of the household?
High school.
Right? And I'll say, I said, babe, what do you mean? He's like, no, who's the head? I said, first there's God, right? Because that's who we see. That's what we believe. And I said, second, it's you.
Then
Right.
the kids are going, yo,
Like, stop playing.
he the
Yeah.
head. So then it becomes a teachable moment. So then go.
Yeah, so it becomes a teachable moment because I have to submit to the fact that I believe that he is qualified to lead. I trust in his vision, right? You if you have a vision for your family, you have a vision for yourself, you write it down, make it plain. So I every day put my trust in him to lead and him to do it. Now, of course, I could then try to, there are moments where I will say, I do step in and I say, honey, well, I think this might be, a better idea, or let's think about it from this perspective. But he I don't want to say allow because that sounds like that he's very authoritative.
Right.
Yeah, no, he opens the
You don't
door.
have to describe, again, you're
I don't
married.
have to do that.
You don't have
Right.
to, you don't have to go
No,
in
thank you, bro.
and say,
Yeah.
that's,
We created the environment
There you
where
go.
my opinion and what I think is on the same level.
Yeah.
I submit, be like, yo, babe, whatever you want to do,
Yeah,
I'm with
that's
you.
what she said.
But also, I think this,
I say, honey, what do you think?
Right, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
takes it into consideration because it's a partnership.
We talk about it.
Right, but I surrender the leadership. If somebody if I had to write down on paper who's the leader of the household, if I had the taxes, etc. If we were to submit it independently, he would put his name. But I'd be like, nah, we're doing it jointly, but like you take the lead.
Ask a
Go
question?
ahead, bro.
That's a beautiful thing. Does it change? Like, I don't know your financial situation, but would you feel any different if you were the main breadwinner in the
Provider?
home?
Real talk.
That's a
I'm
great
not gonna
question.
hold you. I absolutely would. I absolutely would, and that's and
You
that's
actually would what?
I would feel
That's
a little
reverse.
differently.
Thanks,
Or let me not say that. I would behave differently.
Really?
Ooh, this is gonna get
And
spicy.
and that's just it comes with the whole idea of if you are the provider, sometimes naturally, subconsciously, your chest puffs out a little more because you feel like I'm doing this. Right? Some people move like that. And I might subconsciously move in that direction because I am now the person who's, I'm making it shake, right? Because it's my income that's moving it. So I might feel like my opinion is is holding a little more weight, right? He might hold the 10 pound, I'm holding the 50. So I might feel like, yo, this is the way it needs to go. So I'm gonna be real. I might feel that way. And I'm not gonna lie. I think it's
No,
real.
I appreciate that. Now,
You know?
now, do you things may change in your lives, and there may be a point where she does make more bread. Do you think that perspective is one that you would necessarily be okay with?
That's funny.
I think it goes back to what we was talking in the original question. There's no leader title. I think because we created such a partnership, it wouldn't make a difference.
But she just said it would.
Now that's to the perspective of that's a new conversation, right?
Let's talk about it right
Let's
now.
talk about it. So
Get it, Pop.
if it was flipped and Honey's making more money, then I would say here's the thing: what happens in a home, and in my opinion, if she's making a lot more money,
That's a lot more. Like 20,000 more.
let's say 100. Let's just say
Carrying the weight.
let's just say
$100.
200.
No,
100,000 more.
Oh, that's shit.
Listen,
We talking about somebody carrying the weight.
Yeah.
I'm
Listen.
carrying it.
there's an equal balance of carrying, and I always in my mind I think about this. If she's carrying that type of weight, what are you carrying? And write that down. And it comes to a point where
Yo, I got my notepad on my pen or anything, bro.
here's why I said that. Because there's things that people are carrying outside of the home, and there's things carrying inside the home.
There we
If
go.
my wife comes home and there's dishes in the sink, bro, and I'm home before her, there's a problem. If she's busy at work, and all my people listening,
Listen to
and there's dirty clothes that been there for an entire week, carry your weight, bro.
What are you doing?
There's not a
Talk to
there's
him
no-
nice, Eric.
The definition of a leader, how it's so bad at the American culture, how we define leader.
It's financially.
We always put money on the leader. No,
True,
leader is
Pop.
humble. Leader, we got definition of what a leader is, bro.
I'm in agreement with you. However, from what your wife said, she's not in agreement with you. I'm just letting you know that.
That's
If you're not
true.
paying attention- if you're-
You sure you want to be ice?
Huh?
You sure you Rich, are you sure you want to be
No, 'cause
ice?
what you asked me
The
was
definition of a leader
Because
is
that's where the fire like.
if I felt how would I feel?
Yes, talk about
And
it.
I would feel like I carry more weight when it comes to decision making. Now, would I then give him the respect and value him for what he does in the house?
But you still felt like you hold more weight.
I would. I'm not gonna hold you. I would feel.
Can I
like
can I be transparent?
She's being
Yeah.
honest.
I don't agree with that.
Talk to me.
I feel one because of my questions I was gonna ask one. when you don't look at stuff in a relationship as one person is the leader, regardless of financial, whatever, and just look at stuff at the partnership, your finances don't matter because our finances come together.
At the
It
end of the
shouldn't
day,
it shouldn't be that you hold more weight because you make
it's
more money.
our money.
It's there you go. It's
you go.
your money.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
granted, as he said, yeah, you working hard making that extra 100K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's at home taking care of everything at the home now.
Yeah.
When he gets off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are since you're so busy working, you can't do that at home.
Yeah.
That's true.
That person's taking care of that stuff that
That's
you
true.
can't take care
Which
of.
is weighty.
Which is very weighty.
People,
Your home is your home.
I guess
home
I
is not
gotta
a
be
home.
ice, y'all.
Huh?
It's
And
work.
I guess I gotta be ice because you fire right now.
What do you guys doing?
You fire. I mean, listen, this is good stuff. This is great
What you
stuff.
just said, bro, I absolutely will then, in that standpoint, once we talk about it, I will fully humble myself and be like, you know what? My perspective was off, and you are absolutely right. And I would apologize. Like, if we two were talking about it, you know what I'm saying? I would be like, you know what? You're right. Like, that's a terrible perspective to have. But what I had mentioned was subconsciously how somebody might behave before they even have that conversation or before that's mentioned. You naturally be like, nigga, I don't want to.
Would you so
Brooklyn talking.
before you guys were married, would you wouldn't choose to marry somebody who made less money than you?
That's not true.
I'm just asking you.
No, me personally, no, I'm not superficial like financially. No,
Okay.
If I love you, regardless of where you at. You're unemployed, you etc. Like no, like I love you for you. It has nothing to do with what you make. And again, there's a lot of women who see otherwise in this day and age, right? They lead with what do you bring to the table first before they connect with who you are, etc. And I'm just not one of
It's
those.
beautiful.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Go for it. She talked about like a leader leads, right? Correct, right? She talked about vision. One thing that Colleen and I always talk about is like if she gives me that position of like if they come to the last choice or the last second, we gotta make a choice. The question is like where you taking us, right? So sometimes like if the roles change, if she becomes the leader and the last person to make the decision, all right, where we going? If you're gonna lead, right? The pressure's on.
Yeah.
When much is given, much is required. So whoever takes that role of making a decision, you gotta have somewhere that you taking the family, not just yourself.
Very true.
This is every decision is not just your decision, and
And it
that's
leads
where we
into
both
a
stand.
vision,
Thank
having
you.
a vision.
Thank you.
Just to add to that, I do also feel like a leader. Shout out to E. Definitely spoke to her about this.
Yo.
recently. A leader, you can't lead from the throne. A leader.
Say that again, man.
To be a leader, you have to also know how to follow.
You gotta serve too.
You gotta serve. You gotta get your hands dirty.
The best leaders are servers,
Yeah,
man.
so you can't be a delegator.
Servant
you can't be
leaders, man.
You can't just be like, hey, do this, do that. You have to get your hands dirty. You know what I mean? So you're 100%
That's
right.
an
So
effective leader.
yeah, that's an effective leader.
Yeah.
That's a leader that people want to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they say like
That's
you're
why
willing,
she-
you're willing to execute.
That's why she said yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a servant. I serve people.
Oh, dear.
And she watched me serve my mom, my sister. Like, those who are out there, make sure your person serve. They know how to serve. Because they never serve you.
Talk your talk.
I mean,
Woo,
that's
wow.
you know Jesus. Jesus watched
No.
the feet, right?
Don't wash your feet.
Who wash my feet, my back? You feel me? Like
better serve.
he's the most humble man. And I know we didn't get to that segment.
better feed
That's
her.
part of the section.
Nah, talk
But let me
about
just
it.
say,
Talk about
He's a giver.
Yeah, man.
And when someone is a giver and when they're just willing to like it's just that's the sexiest thing. Like I don't care what
You
you know
gotta
what I'm
serve
saying?
them.
Like I don't care if you got $5. The person who will be willing to give you their last
Yeah, you got to.
and willing to serve you beyond the financial capacity, that's somebody that you need to give attention to.
Before we move on to the next point, Erica, who's on the couch, also on YouTube, said, "Does leadership look different to men and women?"
Great question.
Great question.
To us or to culture or the
To you, we're talking to you guys today. So,
Okay,
does
okay.
to you, do you think your leadership role looks different than her leadership role? And that's why I really wanted to
No, let's
go to my
dive into
quick
what your
my question
Quick
was,
answer.
what roles do you guys lead in? You know what I mean? What roles?
No,
do you
that's
guys lead in?
true.
That's
good.
where I like that question better.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if
Yeah, it's a better
Yeah.
question because you can't answer for a woman.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so my role and we move in strengths, right?
Mhm.
if I can say this with honest truth,
Go ahead,
like
baby.
our financial world, right?
Yeah.
I'm an organized person. I'm very like disciplined.
Yeah.
I'm by the books.
Yeah.
Where my wife is more like,
I'm more for
it'll be paid.
Liberal.
You know, like,
Very liberal.
they gonna get their money out
Liberal,
somewhere.
that's good.
And I'm like, nah, man, we gotta pay in advance. We gotta save. We gotta stocks. We gotta. I'm all over the place because I want to set my family up so the kids don't have to struggle. I think that comes from when you struggle as a kid, you don't want to struggle as an adult. So the financial part, I try to lead because of I know that may be her weakness. Discipline in life, like spiritually, mental health, emotional health, like leading in that aspect. Like, all right, what did you do today for your mental health? What did you do this week, this year for yourself? Sometimes with my own wife, particularly, she may forget about her own stuff because she's always given to everybody else, right? We told you in the beginning that we wear a lot of hats and we always forget about ourselves. So I'm the person to say, I'm a PE teacher. I'm going to use my gifts and talents to bring it home to my wife. I want you to be whole. I'm not going to preach to the world about health and not bring the facts home to my wife. Eating, sleeping, whatever that is, right? Another area of leading is I drive everywhere. My wife doesn't have to drive. My wife doesn't have to open the door for herself.
I'm the driver. I
So
get it.
even leading in that aspect of not just driving, but making sure that she doesn't have to worry about, she can just fall asleep and just get to the destination. That's just me. That's just how I was brought up.
Even a 13-hour drive?
Bro, I'll do most of it if I have to.
Okay.
Not saying she won't share.
Because I'm like, you gotta wake up at some
But-
point, bro.
but
At hour 8, you gonna have to, bro. You gonna have to be.
I know what you mean, Papa. I know.
The whole 13?
No, I don't want to know what.
You
wanna be in control.
You wanna be in control at all times, but
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not gonna do 13 hours by myself.
I just came from Maryland, and
You drove the
I'm
whole
not letting her
no,
do that 13.
when we drove there, she was like, oh, because we drove her car. She was like,
Yeah.
she's like, oh, you want to drive the first half? So when we drove there, I drove the first half, and she was like, you want to switch? I could tell she didn't want to switch. I was like, no, I got it. And I drove the rest of the way. And then today, she was like, oh, I'll drive. And I was like, yo, I was like, when we get to the first pit stop, the first gas station we get to, let's switch. Because I'm not going to get here on time.
Yeah,
You can be the driver. You know what I mean? Like, huh?
Safely. I drive safely.
Oh my God.
Are you not here right now?
Baby girl says like,
Are you alive?
that's your
again? Well,
method.
Did you die?
Right.
Did you die, though? Did you die?
Our niece, yo, real quick. Our niece, like,
Has
you
a
know how
second.
as a young kid, you eat the cake batter at the pan. She was like, Auntie, you eat this? And I was like, yeah, we made it our whole life. We ain't die. So you drove. You ain't die.
You ain't die.
You ain't die.
You ain't
You
die.
valid.
You are
So
still here
I'm
breathing.
saving out. People like, we ain't die.
I'm traumatized.
She's traumatized though. She saw her life flash before her eyes like 8 times.
Do you prefer to drive or do you prefer her to drive?
I prefer to drive. I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
Just I'm I'm a little impatient, I guess, especially like if we chilling, it's not a problem. Matter of fact, no. Even when we drive to the beach, wherever we drive to, I usually drive.
You prefer
I just
that.
prefer to
Is
drive.
it natural?
Yeah, it's just, you know what I
Do
mean?
you think it's natural? I don't think we ever discussed me
Yeah,
doing what I
we never
do.
discussed it.
But I think I just drive.
I don't like
I
this.
don't
I don't
know.
like people who don't switch lanes. I cannot stand when I'm like, I watch my mom do it. Where it's like this
Stay in your
lane
lane.
is flying, and my mom's like,
I'm staying in the slowest lane.
I can't. I get pent up like, I want to blow up like, yo, why are you not switching the lane?
Do you drive? Do you drive?
Like, yo,
also?
move
I
over.
drive, yeah.
You know what it
I'm
is?
driving my family.
She's from Maryland, where things may be a little slow. And New York,
Yeah, we be out.
She's like, do you really have to switch lanes?
All the time?
Yes.
Hell you go?
Thank you. She have to be, you're only gonna get there 2 minutes faster. I was like, you think so? You think so?
Exactly.
You think
An hour early.
Cutting off like 45 minutes.
GPS has to be here 6:20 something.
My wife tells me. My wife.
There we
And
go.
I stopped at home.
My wife tells me.
Come on.
My wife tells me all
Something
the
at home
time.
goes crazy.
Listen, my wife tells me all the time the speed limit is the speed limit for all lanes, and I'm like, no, there is a lane where
fast
people want to break the law,
left.
and the left lane is for the
That's
people who want to break the law. And sometimes I want to break the law. You know what I mean?
She got mad at me for honking at somebody driving too slow in the left lane. You doing 60? I'm like, nigga, come on.
You not supposed to be in that
Be in the right lane. Go in the right lane, brother.
Don't be fucking crazy.
Especially down south, when they have 4 lanes, bro, you have a lot of options. Move over.
Yeah, move over.
You gotta move over.
Yo, you always say get out the way,
It's
bro.
like a game of Frogger.
Yeah, that's how, yes.
That's how you drive
Yes.
properly.
Sheesh.
Oh,
That's how you know you're back in New York.
This lane moving? Alright,
Yes.
go on this lane. This lane moving? Alright, cool.
That's it,
That's how it works. That's how it
and I
works.
hope you learn from that.
No, in the South we have manners. We move over for people.
That is true. New York people do not move.
Thank God for you, because guess what?
Yes,
Yo, this is
bro, listen.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to that one and that one.
Yes. You see, this time when I'm sure, like even today, as I'm driving in the traffic, I'll start speeding up when the car's not too far from me because I peep that this car in the middle is slowing down. I hit the,
You hit the
you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? She's like, oh, you already go? I know what I was doing. Like,
Yo.
And as New Yorkers, like we drive, we're like 4 cars ahead. Like we see what's
yes.
happening.
Bro, I see the stop sign.
Yep.
If I'm in one lane, I'm literally looking through the car in front of me to see if the brakes of the other car
It's
is
going,
going
that's
up.
it.
You know what I mean?
We're natural defensive drivers. Natural defensive drivers. Shout out to y'all.
But anyway, we want to get back to the topic.
We wild out just now.
We was about to spend 20 minutes on the drive,
Exactly.
But you got anything else you got something else you want to discuss, Jerry?
I got leading. Where you leading?
Oh yeah, well, thank you. Larry.
Yo, my man Eric is in it.
Somebody pay that.
He's in.
Because we gonna get home.
He's in.
I didn't talk about my leading.
No, I would not say that. Stop.
And you gonna be in trouble.
No, you won't.
Marriage.
We're
So
gonna
what do you feel like you need?
So he mentioned that very much so like socially as far as connecting with people. So he
You're the
always tells
social
me like
butterfly.
I'm a very big you told me
social
like
butterfly.
bridge.
Yes,
so when it
yes,
comes to like
yes.
connecting people or like making sure everybody's together or checking in like, hey honey, have you spoken to so and so in
I'm not
such a
good at
long
that. I'm
time
not good
or whatnot. And
that at all.
how like when it comes to like gathering people together or when we're in a space, kind of like making sure everybody's okay, like you know.
Yeah.
And something that he told me is just like that. It's beautiful because whatever I lack, he picks up the slack, and whatever he lacks, I pick up the slack. And I love that he's willing to surrender and submit those parts of him to me to say, hey, like you got this. So in those areas where I'm unable to lead, so financially, I'm not good at that. And I think it also takes a lot of accountability, right? So if I'm able to, you know, humble myself, because, you know, there's some people that be like, out here like, no, I got it. No, you don't, babe. Like, it's fine. Like, you don't got
okay.
it. Allow the person who's supposed to be your partner, your associate to validate. You know what I mean? Not validate, but just come in and assist you. So in those areas, whether it's socially, whether it's financially, like we balance each other out, and those are the areas, the primary areas that I lead is the social aspect. But also when it comes to even like when we got married, family wise, right? Like when he was just like, wow, babe, like you really take over. Like if anybody needs something, you do your best to try to be there. And I didn't notice that I did that because it was a natural instinct, but he really gives me the credit where credit is due and allows me to where I beat up myself, he builds me up.
And I follow with support.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like behind her.
Yeah.
I'm on the side of her. Just be
Yo,
like,
and-
whenever you need me, I got you. Even though it's not my
Correct.
strength.
And even when he gets on me, and now mind you, I'm not gonna say it's peaches and cream, right? Because I mean, in our conversation, people might be like, "Oh, there." No, where he gets on me, but the thing is, he's trained himself to be like, "Yo, if I'ma get on you, I'm gonna end with the glows. I'm gonna let you know like what you're doing wrong or what we could work at, but then I'm gonna end with what you do well." And I think that's an important part because sometimes we get so caught up in telling our person like, you but you're so focused on what they're doing wrong that you don't even highlight what they're doing right.
That's true.
And so I can't walk away from a conversation with him where I'm feeling like, dang, like, woe is me, right? He don't want me to walk away from a conversation with my shoulders down. He always makes sure that when he addresses me about something, that even if it's the hardest thing ever, I always walk with my shoulders back at the end of the day. And that's that.
The door shut.
Yeah, so that's that.
Okay, real quick, me personally,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not married or anything like that. You guys don't have kids yet, so
No. We practice.
That's the fun part. That's the you know, we practiced in a year after we got married. You know, the practice was made perfect.
Too much.
You know, and we weren't married a full year before the kids started popping out. So, you know, and we got a little liberal after after we said those vows.
It's like, all right, there's another one, guys.
I feel especially when children come into the picture. I personally feel like, honestly, granted, in y'all situation, you said you lead financially and whatnot, but I personally feel like I feel like the woman's the leader overall. In my opinion, I feel like a woman, because
I can agree with that.
women often teach the values in the home to the children. Granted, as a minister, you're gonna also instill some values in them, but their kids, especially in their most vulnerable years, are very attached to their mothers, and dads, I don't know, dads just often are there for dads are there. Good dads.
Right.
Good dads
There we
are
go.
there.
There we
Good
go.
dads are there. And,
I have a question for you for that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
please.
Don't forget it, right?
No, I got it.
Good dads are there and definitely do teach a lot. But I feel as though like overall, like women are the leaders in the world. Like they teach. Like how we, even when people turn out bad, we often say, how did these people turn out that way? And then we forget that they're raised by ask their mother. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, or when they turn out great, when it's good, they say, your mother did a good job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
That's it.
like you know what I mean? So it's like,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, me personally, I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, rest her soul, and my father passed away when I was 4, and my father, when he was around, for my oldest brother, he was around for my oldest brother until about 14. So, and even him, he was a child of like his morals, his values didn't come from my father; it came from my mother.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it's overall, from what I notice from anybody, it's often what the mother teaches that people tend to. And don't get me wrong, when fathers give certain lessons, people, you'll hold on to that because. But I feel like they're far and few between compared to the mother. Which is why people deviate from what the mother says often, because you're getting so much lessons from your mother.
Right.
When you get a lesson from your father, it's like, I gotta hold on to this because it holds more impact.
Right.
Because they're not getting that much from them. Like dads are often playful and you know what I mean. They like they do have their moments when it's like, just like in a relationship, guys try to be a little softer. But then when they're serious, a woman be like, "Oh, I knew he was serious in that moment." You know when they're serious in that moment. Because overall, we try to be more lax. Overall, we try to be, because if we're giving that pressure all the time, that's gonna be a tense relationship. You know what I mean?
Not approachable.
Yeah. But Jerry, what were you gonna say?
I would say that I would completely agree with you if I didn't know the statistical fact that if children grow up without the father in the home, they are 10 times more likely to go to jail. So for me, what that says is that the mother and father can raise children who do not get in trouble or do not follow the path of deviance and stuff like that, or just the father in the home can completely eliminate that, not just the mother in the home. So then my question becomes to you: which one do you believe is more essential? The person who builds the home or the person who teaches in the home that was built?
Can I answer that?
You before you do answer that.
Go ahead.
I wanted to add to what Jerry was saying because I've definitely seen some studies. I was saying I've definitely seen studies that have said that the outcomes of single father households are similar to the outcomes of two parent households.
Okay. Oh.
Whereas single
Absolutely.
single mother households, the outcomes change a
They
lot.
vary.
Like you have higher chances of mental illness, you have higher chances of going to jail, higher chances of drug abuse, higher chances of alcohol abuse, higher chances of incarceration. Like
Depression, higher
it
chances of
markedly
depression.
increases exponentially when there's no man present.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm
go
gonna
ahead,
let you
yeah.
answer, but I do want to respond to both of you guys. Go ahead, Eric.
Very quickly, the reason why I start off with partnership, right? There's no distinct role when it comes to us, right? And then we talk about raising children. That's another discussion, but I'll bring it up now while we're sitting here. When those children come, there's no, the mother is just the nurturer. We're going to disrupt, and I'm going to say this online, every
Straight to the
No.
every norm, every idea that somebody created. This is our marriage, right? And that's what happens with marriages. They try to replicate something that they don't fit in. And that's spiritual, right? You try to wear something that doesn't fit you, you're always going to be uncomfortable. Every time we try to like duplicate something that we've seen, it never worked for us. And we got to come back to square one and say, like, what has worked for us? That's marriage. It has to work for you. Has to. Because you got to spend every day with this person trying to figure out how we're going to look like the other marriages that we try to like emulate, or those are our mentors. Nah, but at the end of the day, yo, we got to work this out together. Those children will be nurtured by both of us. Those children will be supported, loved on. No matter what the conditions are, we doing this together. You gonna cook, I'm gonna cook. You gonna do the dishes? No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I already said that to her.
Talk.
That's how my mother. Here we go. My mother raised me that way because they decided a certain roles. We're saying we're gonna do both. How I was raised with the mother and the father in the house, which was different from her. She'll tell you. My mother was the nurturer. My mother did all the work. And my father was you go to work while she take care of the kids.
Yeah.
We're not doing that life no more. That life, to all my future married couples, dead that. Because that's a road that's going to hit a dead end. Literally. Literally. Because the kids are going to be missing their fathers. The father who's always at work is an absentee father.
Talk your talk.
Totally. I like
Talk
that.
your talk.
Can I say that one time?
Yeah, go ahead.
People who didn't have the father in the house is same as the father who's always at work. It's the same. Oh, he's in the house, he's sleeping there, but he's not there emotionally.
Yeah.
He's not. Yo, I get passionate about it because that was my life.
Yeah.
Many a times, people are like, yo, I don't got my father. I'm like, yo, me too. Like we all need. Everybody had daddy issues, right? Either he was there but not really there, or he wasn't there and not really there. It's the same pain.
Yeah.
Now, how we deal with it is, I took what my father did, and I'm making it better here. That's the key point there.
That's beautiful.
That's the key point there.
To address what you guys both said, I'm not in disagreement with you guys at all. But I wasn't speaking about a home where the father is a single father with no. I was talking about. I'm thinking about together, like even together. I still feel like the woman leads, not in the sense, and I don't want to say leads in the sense of, like taking a leadership role or anything like that. I also mean like, you guys seen the movie 300?
Yes, of course.
All right.
Of course.
Although dad was although dad definitely instilled plenty in him.
Yeah.
The child still like mom is like the
Man.
you know what I mean? If mom,
Yeah.
and I'm not taking away anything from the fact that the dad will teach so many different things, and your dad teaches you how to fish. Your dad teaches you how to be. Your dad teaches you how to be a man.
And then we're gonna move.
Your dad teaches you how to be a
I
man.
got one last thing to say, but go ahead.
Your dad teaches you how to be a man. I just feel like, and like I said, I'm not saying I'm right. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is my opinion. I just personally feel like women run the world, bro. That's just how. That's just how I feel.
Listen,
Listen,
Women are the gateway.
I agree with that.
Women are the gateway.
I've said it before, and I will say it again.
It will
And
operate.
this is-
who y'all work for? Who do y'all work for to keep who happy? A woman.
Absolutely.
Women are the
I know everything I do in my life is to make sure that I keep my woman happy. Absolutely.
So-
But I do not live by the happy wife, happy life.
No, you said happy house. Happy spouse.
Happy spouse, happy house. That's the motto I live by.
Yikes,
But
yikes.
here's what I'm gonna say. And this is what I'm gonna say.
Well, that's a whole nother vibe right there. What he just said.
This is what I'm gonna say, and
Both gotta
to
be happy.
reply to you, and then we could definitely move on after that.
Okay.
I feel like I would completely agree with you if I didn't pay attention to what the plan has been, right? So if I'm speaking from a socioeconomic point of view, or like from that point of view, right? I will say, all right, America in the 60s, 70s, right? They got all of their smartest people put together, right? They got their psychiatrists, their psychologists, their scientists, everybody, right? They put them in a room and they said, all right, we have a problem here, all right? There are too many black nationals, I guess, or black men who are leading these revolutions, so to speak, right? That are disrupting us, right?
Oh, Jerry, I'm
so listen, wait. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Yeah.
So they put all these people in this room, and they said, "How can we disrupt that?" Right? And what was the consensus? What was the agreement that everybody came to agree?
Take the men out of the homes.
Take the black man out of the home,
Yes,
and you
sir.
will disrupt the entire system.
Which,
Which, for the last 20 to 30 years, has been somewhat successful.
destroyed our communities.
So if I'm not looking at that, then I will completely agree with you. But if I am looking at that, then I will say that the people who were gathered for a very nefarious reason, gathered for one reason, and that was to take the black man out of the home in order to disrupt this entire system.
I'm in 100% agreement with you, except for the fact that after they stopped trying to do mass incarceration or killing these people, the next thing that they did was to have the woman no longer support the black man, which was the feminist movement.
But that's after. That came after.
No, it came after, and it's the one that lasted longer. It's still going on to this day.
No, how is it the one that lasted longer?
The feminist movement has been going.
Both of them are. 'Cause
The first move that was done is the one that lasts the longest. Rich. That's not making sense. That came after you said. How is it lasting longer?
Hold on, listen what I'm saying, Jerry. All right, matter of fact, forget last.
That doesn't make sense.
All right, cool. Listen, what I'm
That doesn't make sense.
trying to say, the
This is
feminist
good.
movement has been going on since around like right after all of that.
Like
Came
this.
after.
Yeah. No,
It came after COINTELPRO. After all of that.
All right, cool. The feminist movement was started in the 60s, around the same time as COINTELPRO. It was just right, like they realized if we lock up everybody, they're gonna see that there's a bias. They still do it, like during the time they started calling us predators, the crime bill and all that different stuff. I'm not in disagreement with you. I want you to understand that, but I'm trying to say that the reason those men were strong was because they had strong women behind them that supported
Talk
them.
your talk. Beside them. I'm not going to say behind them.
Beside them.
Yeah.
And when the feminist movement was initially started by white people, they included
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, Cosmopolitan.
Mhm.
I don't know if I recently watched like something on this recently. Where a woman, an editor for Cosmopolitan, literally said we lied to people for over 20 years.
Talk your talk.
Yeah, a woman that worked for them.
Yeah, they said that. I saw that.
You saw that? You know what I'm talking about,
They
right?
purposely lied. They knew they were lying
They
to
knew-
women about the lifestyle that they were selling.
Right.
To women.
Yes, Cosmopolitan.
They wanted women to be more independent. Yeah, they knew that it was a complete lie. It was a farce.
It was false. They
It
were
was a
cheap.
setup.
And that's why personally I feel like yes, men. I totally agree. Without the man in the house, the child had less of a opportunity to reach the
10
heights,
times more likely.
10 times more likely the heights that they reach. But that man who's leading that home, or leading it besides his wife, without that woman there,
It's true.
you won't even have the kid.
I agree.
You won't even have the kid really.
That's the family. Disrupt the family. Remember how I told you?
You know what?
Disrupt the
We can
family.
meet at the middle and
More
say
important.
it's the disruption of the family.
Yes,
You're right.
absolutely. It's disrupt the family. But they started with taking the black man out of the home.
Cool.
That's all.
I
That's
just
all
want
I'm saying.
to add something, cause like you were saying that the women are the leaders, and I feel like there's different types of leadership.
When I said
right?
leader, I did correct myself and say
Can we say backbone?
Ooh.
Okay.
I look at it more like, all right, if there's leadership, I feel like there's the leadership that's the face, and then I feel like the representation, and then there's the leadership that's the silent leadership. So like if you look
That's
at a
good.
chessboard, for example,
the
the
queen.
queen has the ability to move across the entire chessboard, right?
Strongest
But the
piece.
game ends when the king is captured,
That's
not when
very
the
true.
queen's captured.
Talk your talk.
So you got, and now the thing is, the king is the most important piece on the board, but the king can only move one space at a
Talk
time.
your talk.
Why? Because the king has multiple things to manage. The queen now, because she's inspired by the king, has the ability to go anywhere on his behalf.
Keep talking.
So what I'm saying is, the king is silent leadership. It's just that the queen is the representation of that leadership. So when people are just seeing the queen, they feel like, oh, she's the leader. But usually, if you look at it like
That's
a
good.
lot of
I'm
strong
listening.
women, there's a man behind them that they're inspired by, that everything they're doing is for.
May I say?
Even like if you look at Big Mama's house, like we always want to talk about like the Big Mama's house
Sorry, that made me laugh.
in black culture. Like we think of the Big Mama's house, that Big Mama figure.
Yeah.
But who was she in love with? Big
Talk your
Papa.
talk. Talk
That's
your talk.
why she was cooking the soul food dinner. So y'all see her.
Talk your
You
talk.
see her
Big
cooking
Papa had
soul
3
food
jobs.
dinner.
Yo, and Big Papa had 3 jobs, so he had a big
Y'all
appetite.
see her cooking soul food dinner, and she gets the credit for that. But y'all forget that the whole reason she's cooking soul food dinner is to make her man happy.
And he had the
I don't disagree with it.
Talk your
I will say one thing though, because I play
Big
chess a
clout.
lot. I play chess a lot. As a matter of fact, I think when we played, I beat you.
No,
In the barbershop?
did not have it in the barbershop.
We're not talking about that.
We'll play again. Let's leave it at that.
We're not doing that right now. We're not doing this right now.
I'm pretty sure I beat you, but
Yo, we can play. Yo, the personal battles. The personal
I
battles.
play chess on the regular, right?
On the regular.
And majority of the time,
You play on your phone. You play.
no, we play one on one.
You play on your
He likes to play. He has a board and everything.
And even my boy, I recently played him. He swore he's been practicing, dusted him. Shout out to Big Bro.
Your time is.
Shout out to Big Bro. We played 2 games time. I bust his ass. Anyway,
That time.
You know his competitive ass is going to sit here and
I
talk
will say
about
this:
this.
majority of the time when I play somebody in chess, the minute the queen is gone, that person's morale and the likelihood of winning is
It's almost dead.
Amateur players.
Not just amateur players. The queen matters so much that the minute she's gone, forget the fact. I'm not saying you lose the game with a king.
Sacrifice his queen for the win though.
No, listen to what
You beat me
A
to it.
good chess player knows how to sacrifice the queen on purpose.
For the win.
To do what? To do what?
Wait, so they'll dangle the queen in front of your face just to checkmate.
Hold on. But how often after they move that queen, they move that point? They get points to the top.
It gets
They get another fucking queen.
Isn't that not the tale of life, my dude? Is that not the tale of life? If I'm the king and I lose my queen, I'm gonna be more erratic no matter what. It's going to be. I'm gonna make erratic moves. But
I also want to agree.
at the end of the day, I do understand, and I'm not trying to be like the person who's like boasting or bragging, but I do understand that I'm the one that set up this house.
No,
That's it. I'm the one that put the boards together. Who put the blueprint, as you say, as Jay-Z would tell you, was set up by me. What happens in the home is only because of the fact that the roof and the foundation is strong within that home. Because that home could be, if it's not strong in the foundation, no matter how much the wife or the queen does in that home, it's going to fall apart at some point in time. Is all I'm saying.
I wanted to meet you guys in the middle though. Although I said what I said about the queen, and the morale goes down, the only difference is you can get another queen. If you lose the king, the game's over.
Right.
So I will meet you guys halfway. I will meet you guys halfway. Anyway, let's move on to the
Good
next
stuff,
topic.
man. Good stuff, man.
Definitely.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
She said you can make it out there.
Okay, I want let's get back to this. Let's get back to this marriage questions.
Let's go back to it.
Shout out to chess.
I love this, yo. We've been.
That chess
I'm
board
not gonna lie.
sounds
This has been beautiful conversation.
Thank you,
I do
y'all.
want to say
Thank you, y'all. Before Rich goes though, please, y'all. I know y'all on YouTube right now. We're moving away from Instagram. So please tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on YouTube, hop on YouTube. You guys can put it on the screen, on the side, on your TV while you do what you got to do. Please tell a friend to like, subscribe, share, comment. Please, we will read your comments on here. Go ahead, Rich.
yeah. It's our first time going just live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Usually.
Oh,
we
lit.
get-
Okay.
So we trailblazer.
Yeah.
We doing. Listen, it's a lot of firsts. A lot of firsts.
I would go into the whole reason why I'm doing it, but that's not
No,
even important.
please don't.
Yeah, I won't.
Text us.
He said
Send us a text.
Please don't.
That's the reason.
Huh?
YouTube's better.
YouTube's better.
YouTube's better. Point blank. Period.
I think I'm about to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
What has been the most
so much.
difficult? What has been the most difficult thing about marriage for you guys? For you,
Talk,
let's
you
start.
talk.
Matter of fact, let's start.
No, he can start.
Sure. You know what? That's
Listen,
great.
she's being a great leader right now. I'll tell you that.
Hey, listen, that's their dynamic. I'm not mad at it.
The biggest thing you said
The most difficult, the most difficult thing about being married to, Kalia, and why?
biggest difficult thing.
And don't get yourself in trouble.
No, it's never.
Keep it funky, but don't get yourself in trouble. Listen, and now we are about keeping everybody happy.
Transparent with each other.
Talk your talk. I love that. I love that.
Never.
Biggest thing is always a fear that I have. Not pace, because sometimes like I just finished another degree, I'm always pursuing. I'm always pursuing. I'm always driven. She's always known me to be that, and that's also a weakness. I can be so driven that I lose sight of life. I lose sight of fun and smiling and laughing, and that's why I'm so blessed because she brings that to me. The difficult thing is when I'm in that mode and she's not. It's like a discouragement. Where I would want her to be on my side of, yo, we going, we pushing, we doing, and she's like, nah, I'm having fun. I'm not on that wavelength. And then I come to appreciate it because it's like, I need her not to be that. Here's the reason why. Because if we both are moving fast and we grinding, the balance, she creates balance for our marriage. And
write that down.
it's a blessing. It's something that was a difficult thing for me in my first 2 years is now the blessing that I acknowledge, right? It takes time. Today in church they talked about like in marriage you have to adjust, right?
And adapt.
And I've learned that. I've learned to be on my grind but also adjust, right? She's not going to go at my pace, but we're still moving in the same direction.
That's beautiful.
If she was not, then we got a problem. And then that's why I come back to, honey, I'll text her saying, we got to talk. I'm the type of guy, I'm not moving to another step until we are on the
In
right.
unison.
We got to be, because I can't outpace you too far, then I lose you. And I'm not dragging somebody along the way. I'm 10 steps ahead, and you're like, honey, no.
So the vision got to be the same.
Not the vision got to be the same, but we got to move in the same direction. But I can't run fast and you crawling. I can't do that. That's why, like in marriage, you got to be careful the decision you make because it affects marriage.
Would you be willing to how long would you be willing to crawl before she starts running with you?
Will I crawl?
Yeah.
Or because I'm running. I'm always
I
running.
hear you. I'm saying, but she may not.
just talked about balance.
You talked about balance.
So I love that.
You know
I
what
love
I mean?
that. So one of my mentors taught me this. He said, "You married a specific version of your wife. You fell in love with a specific version of your wife. You have to come to a point in your marriage, 5 years, 10 years. You married the first version. You fell in love with the first
That's
version.
good, Papa.
How are you gonna let up something you fell in love with and be like, I don't love it no more? That's deep, bro. Like, here's the issue with marriage. We get in relationships off the potential of a person. That's not ideal because what if they don't live up to the potential? That's true. The expectation. I said to her the other night, I said, I have to lower my expectations because there's some things you're not going to be able to meet. And that's a false reality that I had to put on my wife. I had to accept she's moving at a certain pace. I have a certain lane that I'm in. She's in a lane, but we're moving in the same direction. We're in agreement. We got to adjust and adapt. And we got to talk it through. We got to work it through. So it's not really about like how to crawl, how to run, but it's really about being in agreement. I think we got to be in agreement, right? Like, I can't make a right turn. Like, honey, I'm about to make a right turn. She's like, no, I'm about to make a left. Oh, shoot. It's not gonna work.
Wait 1 second, Rich. I'm sorry, but Erica on YouTube asked a ridiculously good question. Eric, would you marry the version of your spouse today versus the version you met?
Dang, that's good, bro.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you was answering and said that. We're gonna get to both of you guys, but you was talking, so I definitely wanted to ask that.
I love it here.
This is a great. I was like, listen, I mean,
I'm grateful.
I'd rather put in YouTube than ask.
Love it.
Y'all want to
Great
laugh?
question.
Y'all want to laugh?
Go for it.
You want to laugh?
Baby.
Don't get yourself in trouble. Remember what Rich said?
Let's do it.
Let me tell you
get in the
one thing, two things, three things. Baby, come on. You can never say something to me here that we haven't talked about.
So,
I love this. This is nice.
Transparency. When I met my wife, we started dating. Biggest thing, we didn't have sex until we got married. Intercourse. Big, right? We made an agreement, back to the agreement.
Rich, Rich, wait. One question for Rich. Are you sure you want to be Ice?
It's about us.
Are you sure you want to be Ice?
Yo.
Wait, I
I'm sorry.
No, this is fine.
No, it was the reality. Like, I had to respond, bro.
Adjust the glasses and everything, bro.
Now we're rich.
No, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead. You have the floor. You have the floor. Guys, all right. Let's keep it quiet. Come on.
So, the versions of each individual change. And I tell you, like, in the matter of 2 years, we both have changed drastically. Like, mentally, physically, spiritually. Like, the person I met years ago, I would marry. And here's why. Like, that version, I can see it, but I can see the beginning of it and see where it could go. Right? The one now, which is like, it's a different person, that's something that, not saying I want to be attracted to it, something that I want to devote my whole life to, but it's the original version. And if I talk about,
That was the track.
I think everybody wants the original mate, right? If there was one sneaker that came out and there was different versions of it, I think everybody would go back to that
Classic.
Which is why they do retro.
Classic.
The classic.
Right.
Classic. I want the classic.
Right.
I want the classic because it's like, then you could do other things with it, right? But I love that original piece, right? And sometimes we go back to, remember we used to do, and then redo it.
Yeah.
Like, the reminder comes, like, yo, baby, let's go for a walk.
Talk your talk.
That's the original version.
Simple walk, y'all.
Not
Simple
the
walk.
That man love you.
I was gonna let you all go right there.
Yo, when
That man loves you.
I was like, yo, after you get to work, I want to go for a walk. Like, so it just, our marriage is very different
I love
from
it,
how
man.
society shapes.
No, I think that's pretty.
We're gonna
What's the
we'll ask
question?
Kalia that
Would
question
you
as
marry
well.
me
Don't
now,
forget.
or what we saying?
I'm marrying the classic. I'm marrying
Okay, I get it.
the one that.
The one that's valuable.
Remember, Erica said the
not even
question
mad.
is, would you marry the version today? But he's
said yes.
saying yes.
And
But he's always going to
He
make
said he
sure.
want the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
got
go
that.
back to that classic.
I got
If you
that.
think about it, that version that he married is malleable. She evolved into what she is now.
Talk
So
your
that
talk.
version's always malleable.
Definitely an SAT word right there. Definitely an SAT word. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. It's SAT words, right? Hold on now.
We know the vibes. Like we took the ACT.
See, my hood ass would be moldable, all right? I would say moldable.
Is that
My
a
hood
word?
ass.
Is moldable a word?
Moldable is not a word? Moldable is not a word?
Malleable is a word. It means changeable.
But moldable is not a word?
No. I don't
think so.
Give me my queen. Yo,
Can you say
queen.
transformative?
Ooh, okay. All right. See, I'm hood. Listen, I grew up in the hood, y'all. Jamaica Queens, all right?
Can you say it can evolve? Like, you know.
I had to fight for the last encyclopedia book that was being used by everybody in the school, all right? And this was thousands of kids, all right? It was 35 in the class, all right?
Moldable's a word.
Moldable's a word. Thank you very much. Listen, shout out to all my Queens people out here. We still got words. It might not be SAT words, but they still words that are in the dictionary that we can use. Thank you very much.
Now,
Moldable there. Moldable there.
someone's needed a power, but didn't get it. Like, it's okay.
See? I needed it. I didn't have it.
And Roosevelt, I'm a power professional. Shout out to that badass kid.
But we didn't get to Kalia. We didn't get to
And this version went through COVID, so that's another conversation.
But like, real talk.
COVID was a game changer. COVID was a game changer. Talk your talk.
That pre in that post.
Would you marry the original version that you met today?
Absolutely, that's a thing.
The
Like,
current the question was the current version versus the
version versus the original. So
versus the original.
I'm on both bandwagons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on both.
You gotta pick one.
Talk your talk, Eric.
Dang.
Thank you. You gotta be decisive.
Okay,
Is that okay? All right.
if I could pick between the before and the now, I would pick the now.
I got more money right now.
Don't do that.
You want your hair done?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You want your nails
Don't
done?
do that.
Listen, these things.
Yo, Eric said I got more money now.
Cost money.
Let me tell you-
Yo, these things.
honestly,
They tell him.
This is
She get one by one.
Hold on.
Eric,
This is
Eric used to be here every other week. I love this guy. I love this guy.
He's gonna lie.
Hey, it's for the people.
I'm being respectful.
Brooklyn is talking.
I'm being respectful because I don't want to embarrass
She gotta go
you.
to esthetician.
I will pull these things off and my wig right now.
She would. She would.
I
We
would.
do not need to do that. We do not.
No, but
Don't do it.
I'm only saying that because he, we want to be funny your friends.
Yeah.
Be funny your friends.
When much is given, much is required.
Much is required, correct.
Don't ask for something that you can't afford.
But listen to what I'm saying. That's a little different.
Yeah.
What I was getting at was, I would go for this version of you now, right, versus the version then, based on what you kind of prefaced earlier, right? Where you were earlier, you were very focused on self. You were very focused on what you wanted to do. You were very focused
get a marriage?
on, babe, where you were when we first met, Papa.
She said the marriage, right?
No. Would you marry the version of your spouse today versus the version you met?
Oh,
Married.
met.
Yeah, would you marry?
Met or married?
Met. Would you marry the person today versus the person you met?
Met.
Oh no, I ain't
Met.
marrying that person. No. Met?
Yeah, that's why I was confused, bro.
Wait, Eric, you didn't have an amazing speech just now, and then just backtrack.
He said the first day of marriage.
Different,
No,
because if you're ready to
said,
marry
hell
her,
no.
it's different versus than when you met her.
Yes, actually, you just said that.
I thought I'm gonna keep my answer. I'm gonna keep the clock.
Please, Eric. We said we don't want to walk out of here with no problems.
I said met.
Keep your answer, bro. Your first answer was beautiful. It was beautiful.
People,
Get yourself
this is gonna be edited. We're gonna keep the same.
Oh no, this is live. This is live.
When we end, it's on YouTube.
But wait, I'm not gonna hold you. Now you see why I asked.
Yeah, you gotta
When
ask
I asked, I said, "Would you marry the me?" Now you see why I asked that. So I'm like,
Wait, when she
anyway.
met me, keep going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
When
don't marry
who I
the
met
old
him
person.
as,
Don't marry
like
him.
I was saying, was very focused on
Shout out to E for
himself,
that question.
very focused on what he wanted to do, very focused on where he was going,
Yeah, man.
and at the point in time, very focused on family, which was very attractive, right? I love that he was about that. But I also wanted him to just see me, and he did see me, but it was a different level. And who he is now, I'm grateful that I was able to take a step back and be okay with the fact that he was like, you know what, not right now. I respected the fact that he was strong enough to say right now, because he could have let his physical attraction and what he wanted to do lead, which is what a lot of men can do, right? You lead with your
In between your legs.
genitals
Talk
and
to
with
talk.
your emotions and
Right.
with other things
Talk to
versus what you know is really the truth. Well, okay, how do I say this? You lead with temporary gratification. That's right. For
Long term.
long
For the
term,
long term.
correct.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that he saw the potential in me,
I saw a
but he
wife.
was
Yeah.
able to say, you know what, I'm gonna take a second, whatever. Not whatever, but take a second to step back and say, you know what, I'm going to do what I have to do now so that when it's time later, I can really invest in you. And for someone to be able to want to invest in me, and the person that he is right now, he's continuously investing in me through depression, through sadness, through insecurities, through etc. So who I was in 2009 to when we got together in 2015 to where we are right now are three different women.
That's right.
So he carried not only, and I don't want to say he helped me. No, this man carried me.
Yeah.
Talk. Khalil, I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said
Yeah.
and respect to me. The version of my wife that I met is I honestly feel like is a lot like you, right? She was definitely into the weaves, the wigs, into I'm sorry,
No,
but
say it.
she's from
Say it.
Brooklyn,
Say it.
and that's what she was. She was into the whole. And
It's expensive.
listen, when I met her, I knew that was an expensive road that we were going to go down, and I knew that I wanted to be with her long term, right? So I said to myself, we're going to work on this. I'm going to big up the you without any of that. I'm going to
There we
put that
go.
on a pedestal more than anything else, because after a while, after I'm starting to break that down, she started going, yo, I don't need this anymore. I don't need because the person I'm here for doesn't enjoy any of that stuff that I'm doing, right? So I'm just like, yo, babe, take off listen, if you want to mess with me, take off the weaves, take off the wigs, take off the nails, because I want just you. And, and it took a while. but she was definitely on some listen. I'm Brooklyn, you know what I mean. Cardi B is like her favorite rapper right now. That's the person she knows all the albums, she knows all the songs. She's hood by nature, right? Gang ratchet by nature. But I had to honestly. So the original her, I was like, I fell in love with her because of who she was. But I definitely said to myself, I am going to make sure I do my best to make sure she knows that she's beautiful without any of those things for me. And if you are trying to be with me, then you don't need any of those things to be with me. So
Jerry's trying to get some ass tonight.
You just stop it. Stop it. I can have my wife come on camera right now to tell y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't lie. I know, I'm joking. But I'm saying, what I'm saying is that she reminds me a lot of you because that's what she felt like that was what made her beautiful. And she said to me, you know, like she said to me, I need my weaves and I need the wigs. And I was like, do you really? I was like, do you care about what I say? I enjoy in my partner and the person that I want to be with, and she said yes. So I was like, so I'm telling you, I don't want any of that. So who are you doing that for then? If you're not doing it for me, then who are you doing this for? Who are you doing this for?
As another married man, sometimes our women want to look good for themselves. And that's what I've
We
learned.
talked about that plenty of times.
Like, I wake up to no makeup, right? We wake up with our pillow. That's who we fell in love with.
That's
right?
what I like.
But what I've learned about my wife, she loves to dress up, and I better say something and not another man beat me to it. Right?
That's good.
Right?
Listen.
That's good.
Listen, I've learned that. I've learned that.
Talk.
Because what's not done at home
Yep.
Can definitely be
and
done.
they're gonna be like, well, if you don't say it,
Yep.
shoot, then shoot.
Whole bunch of other men that'll say it.
Listen. Remind you, I said that I big her up. I big her up without any of those things more. That was the reason why I did that. I was like, you without those things, it's sexy. It's the sexiest to me.
Let me jump in too, right? When Eric and I first met, I could not believe or grasp that he would be attracted to me, right?
Talk your talk.
And that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 as a plus size woman, right? I saw him as an athlete. I saw him as someone who I envisioned in my head that he would want a certain type of woman. Woman, excuse me. I had that already in my head
You already
based
put
on my
right.
own insecurity.
Right.
But he
You blocked your own blessings.
Correct. No, seriously.
No, it's
true.
But he
It's true.
saw in me what I couldn't see in myself.
Talk your talk.
And he was willing, based on just how he was raised and just, you know, his own personal heart and how it connected to mine, to express that. And that's a whole nother conversation in itself, right? With a woman when they have their own body image or what they think they should look like and how they you know, that ties into what you said about your wife, right? Like, what we picture is supposed to be the it versus what you as a man are physically attracted to, and how we think we need to fit into that, right? And so, like, that was another thing for me that I had to learn, and I thank God for him that he transformed my sight, my mind, and my heart as to what that needed to look like. He was willing to meet me where I wanted to be, where I was at,
Talk your talk.
where I developed to, and where I am now. And when I tell you, if you look, I'm at 3 different stages in every, you know what I mean? Like, he was willing at every stage to be with me.
I tell my wife all the time, she's sexiest in her muumuu. That's when I like her the most.
And
when her old woman muumuu, bro. You walk around with that. Stop playing with me.
I ain't gonna lie,
A muumuu lets everything hang. You hear me?
Wait, you hate you too?
Yeah, my
So,
shirt.
wait, let me tell you. No. My sister, the one thing she told me is like, when you look at somebody, you be like, ou bien compé, oui.
That means you look good. You standing on 2 good feet. You standing on 2 good feet.
Let me even shout out my girl.
I used to check in.
You feel me, my girl, Farrah, you feel me? What's up, Oublié McDonald?
So Yo, you talking about adapting?
I love her, but she's definitely from Brooklyn, bro.
Permiso, mi gente. En mi escuela secundaria, muchos dominicanos, pero yo soy aprender un chin, así, español. Pero mi español es muy mal, necesito mucha práctica.
How many different?
Yo, let me tell you something real quick. What's really good? Yeah.
Facts.
I said this in regards to what you guys were saying.
What's poppin', B?
Son, oh my God. No, I love her. Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
In regards to what you guys were saying, though, personally, because of what Jerry was saying, personally, I've never been in an official, and not to knock women who do wear makeup or anything like that. I've never dated a woman who wears makeup. Like when if I met you and you wear makeup heavily, like I probably would never want to.
I think I'm the same, yeah.
Like even approach?
Like I might want to
too much.
smash, but I'm not like most women that I date. Like as you can see, it's natural.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We saw you. Don't worry.
Talk it to her,
And it's. I don't want to date a false version of somebody, or somebody when you wake up, it's like. And don't get me wrong, they can wear makeup.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to tell my partner they
can wear
can't.
makeup. Yeah,
But I need to appreciate you for who you are.
There you go.
From the start. Before anything else.
Stink breath and all.
Yeah, stink breath and all. I brush stink this morning.
Yo, when she roll over and start in your face, you gotta love that, bro. You have to love it.
I made a joke about it. Like,
It's a hot day.
I think I farted something crazy.
That's when you know somebody loves you.
That's when you know it's real. That's when you know it's real.
That's the
Bro,
real.
I always say the first part is the first real, like, that's the real romance talk. That's the first real talk.
Listen.
Yeah, man.
Did you just fart in front of me?
Farts are serious.
You worry about somebody when you fart. My wife used to tell me, she would wait until she got home. We would be chilling the whole day.
What?
She would wait until she got home to fart and hit you with that. Yo, no, not hit me with it. She would shy away from being around me with it. And I was like, why?
Oh, okay.
I was like, you've been holding this thing all day, girl. You wildin'. But then she started farting in front of me, and I was like, you know what? Take that shit back there. Go back to your crib with that. That's crazy. Hold that. Yo, that's crazy. Something dies in women. What is going on with your body right now, young lady?
Bro. Don't say
God damn. Sorry, Lord. Hot day.
I mean, like, what the hell?
Y'all be out here giving booty doo and corn chips at the same time. Stop it.
Anyway. And as far as what you said, just to touch on what you said, something that I've been saying since I met my young lady. So once I started dating my young lady, something that she said, as far as him trying to find what the look of society and everything. She I've been saying it for the past three or two episodes. She said comparison is a thief of joy.
It's a thief.
It is.
Comparison is
And the fact
thief of
that
joy.
it is.
And I said it before in another episode, and it seems it holds true for a lot of different situations.
Yeah, for sure.
Where when people are not comparing themselves to other people, they definitely can find a lot more happiness when they're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's very beautiful that you said what you said about him, because he didn't do that. As the athlete, because I think there's a boxer right now whose wife gained a little bit of weight. I forgot his name. Fairly new boxer.
Yeah.
His wife, and though he's in great shape and he's moving up in the ranks, people have been chastising him and his wife because his wife is a plus size woman, saying why is she not in shape? And it's like,
That's crazy.
who are you to tell somebody what they should love because they're in shape? Like, you're a PE teacher, your wife has no problem saying that she's a plus size woman, and you love her for who she is. You're not comparing her to what you should be with.
There it
You know what I
goes.
mean? Like,
Can I
so-
say something? I honestly feel like the plus size women, the people at least who even say that they're plus size women, are the women I grew up around and with. So that's what I've always been attracted to. My mother was a plus size woman. My sister's plus size women. Everybody who I've ever known and loved and that was a woman was on the thicker side of life. So for me, it was only right that I'm like, yo, I want somebody that's like, that resembles that in some kind of respect or whatever. That's what I like. Yeah. Now, of course, I don't want you to be unhealthy. I don't want you to be, a person who's definitely got, health problems that we're gonna have to deal with. Especially since I want you around for as long as you possibly can be around for. So if there's something that kind of that puts that in jeopardy, then of course I'm gonna have a problem with that because I want you around as long as I possibly can have you around. But I'm used to a woman in my eyes being of the thicker variety, of the more plus size variety. So it's weird to say to somebody else what they, like what they should like, what they should be attracted to, what they should condone in their household. It's nuts. It's nuts.
You like what you like. I like what I like.
And that's that.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
The biggest thing for Kalia, most of the girls that I messed with before her had character issues.
Talk it to him.
And
Say that again.
in
Say that
itself,
again.
Say that again,
the
please.
ones,
For the people in the back.
the ones that I've
Say
messed
that
with,
part again.
right? We talk about mess. You
Panamanian, we get it.
You doing your thing, right? You showing your shoes off, right? They always has something. It was a red flag,
It
like
was a character
big,
issue.
large red flags. Like,
Big.
oh, you nasty.
Mm.
Like, why are you behaving in this manner? Why this is the conduct?
Why do you think?
Who raised you? Right? That
Raised by
that
Papa
in
Rose, what's going
itself.
on?
The more I surrounded myself around her and saw her in every season, my parents told me this. You don't know a person until you see him in every season. So, thank you. Her grandmother actually said that. Thank you.
Talk it, talk.
I was able to observe. So all those years, she thought I was watching her to create an attraction. That's woman. Does he like the way I look? I was observing how you behaved.
Talk it, talk.
And every room, first of all, she was always the same person. Everywhere my wife went, my girlfriend, whoever, my friend, she was always Kalia, man. Like, to everybody. But there was always something special about little old me. Like, she gave a little more extra. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That head girl.
Talk it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, she made sure.
Working.
Talk to me,
His,
Zeddy.
I earned my stripes.
Yo.
One particular Korean college threw birthday parties. When it came to my birthday parties, sis got dolled up. Sis had everything just over the top.
Talk it, talk.
And I'm like,
Working.
I'm not dumb, right? I'm not naive, right? I'm just like, yo, do your thing, like. And I was so immature to even like give into it, even though I was on my own mission, right? I wasn't naive. I said, like, I'm spiritual, right? I'm like, God, thank you for just putting the ducks in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, just putting the puzzle. There's gonna be a last piece, and I hold the last piece, right? She was it was her. I give her the credit. Kalia created the space for this, right? And that's not I feel humbled to say that, right? She initiated. I was doing it when I was drunk. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was shooting my little shot, like, oh, I'm drunk now. I'm trying to get my kiss.
That's it.
I'm gonna get my little
Courage.
fill up. Like,
Yeah, liquid courage.
she was doing it.
Shout out to Liquid Courage.
She was doing it straight sober, like, no, yo, what's up? And I'm like, and I'm gonna keep it like that's the honest
Well,
truth. Like,
you had socks on at that time? What happened?
y'all always have white two socks. You remember it?
Yeah, cause you more confident without the socks.
Yo, sis came to all my home track meets. Like, she was doing stuff.
Jeez.
She always wrote me these red cards. I'll never forget it. Oh, don't cry.
I'm not.
So I would go on a way.
She's not gonna cry.
On a
She's just,
Thursday.
she's just gonna be happy tonight. That's all.
There you go.
So I would travel for track, right? We travel long hours, go in hotels, do our thing, compete. She would send me off with a to-go bag, like a to-go gift. I'm like, yo, this chick is different, bro. Like, not even just about like her liking me. She was showing her
She was
heart,
going
bro,
right
character.
above and beyond.
No other female gave me that type of time.
One of my friends that comes to the show often, he was dating a girl, and I remember because I
Speak up, Rich. I can't believe
my bad.
you say this.
My bad. One of our friends that is definitely a fan of the show. Shout out to him. He was
Mastermind.
He was dating a young lady. He was dating a young lady who thing didn't work out with him. But one thing that she did, very similar to what your wife did, that I felt like though I didn't experience often in my relationships. When your partner cares so much for you that they do things just to do them, and not like I remember when I first met Jerry and his wife. One day I'm chilling here, and his wife came home from Walmart and she just got him like Deadpool pajamas.
Oh yeah, he'll
And
never
I
forget.
and for no reason,
Just because.
because he likes Marvel
Yeah.
and all that, and it was pajamas.
Yeah.
that was what 7 years ago,
So
7, 8 years ago,
bro.
and I never
Where the
forget that.
pajamas are gone, bro.
See,
They got holes in them.
listen,
Hallie threw them out, actually. She was like, these are done. These are finished. She got me new ones. She got me new ones. Where all the Marvel characters are.
I've always said on the show, like, gifts for me are not necessarily a big thing.
Me too.
I like t-shirts, socks, and boxers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I say that and a woman gets those for me, I know that she's listening to me. It's not about, because it's not expensive.
I like that.
You know what I
She's
mean?
listening.
She's listening to me,
Absolutely.
and she sees the things that I'm into. You know what I mean? Like I literally changed out of a t-shirt to wear this. Shout out to you for
Come
great
on.
minds think alike.
Come on.
But like mentioning my other friend, I remember one day he went to like a barbecue at his girl's house, and when he was leaving, she just handed him a basket of just different things that he likes. And I was like, yo, and like just a regular day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I was like,
Yep.
that's fucking amazing. Cause I've dealt with so many women where it's like, oh, it's a holiday, so here's something.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a special occasion, so here's something. It wasn't something that happened for me up until like my 30s, where the women I would date would necessarily. I'm not gonna lie, probably only been like one woman or two women that have done that, where it's like,
Right.
here, I know you like this, so here, and I'm like, oh shit, thanks. You know what I mean? Like
It's thoughtful.
Yeah, it's very thoughtful. I think I'm not gift giving is not one of my love languages.
Yeah.
But
same.
but
She taught me that.
yeah, gift giving not one of my love
She
languages.
taught me that part. Yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead. No, you please. This is
No,
this
like-
is y'all show. You know what I mean?
That was a weakness.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
I'll be straight up. I'm like, I'll buy you some Christmas.
Yeah.
One man said, yo, listen, when the Christ was born is when I will give you something. Other than that,
Yo, you said forget your birthday. It's about
it's about when Jesus was born.
Jesus.
It's not born on Christmas though. Shut up.
Listen,
Technically,
Kalia taught me spontaneous marriage. Right? It's just
spontaneity.
she just come home and just be
Oh yes.
bring me Doc's cake, bro. Like, you know I love Doc's
Nah,
cake. So what I do? I go to Doc. I drove one time to Brooklyn. Lord have mercy. Like, you talking about thoughtful? Going out your way is thoughtful.
Yes.
So I went on my way. I said, yo, I'm gonna go get her some banana pudding from Doc's.
Ooh.
Right? Because I know
You stood on one line and everything?
bro, I did the whole 9, bro.
That's world famous out there, bro. That's
I came home with like 9 or 10 banana puddings. I'm like, yo, I really love
That's
In
love.
my head, I'm driving home like, man,
I wouldn't do this for anybody.
Yo.
I wouldn't do this for
when you know you went out your way, you get upset. You get kind of like, damn, I gotta do all of this, but I love her that much. Like,
I'm going through a situation right now where the young lady I'm dating or whatever, after we linked up whatever and we started feeling each other, she came back from vacation.
What month was this?
April.
Okay.
oh, your favorite month. Got it.
I just wanted to
Because you thought
clarify.
today was April.
I just wanted to clarify for the people, for the masterminds out there.
April.
It's like a-
Meaning his heart.
And
is
that's
in
my
it.
wife's birthday, so that was the wrong thing to do, man. It's the wrong time to find your girl.
She was on vacation. She was on vacation, and when she came back from vacation, one of the first things she did was drive to me. And that's that. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I think literally episodes before I went on vacation and we connected. I literally said
You have to
I
go
don't,
back and watch
I
it.
said I don't do long distance relationships. I literally said I don't do them.
we did it.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
I did it.
I'm doing it now. And
First year.
taking the drive or taking the train, whatever it may be, the fact that that's going out, like it's
He
an
doesn't do
effort.
those.
It's an effort.
Wow.
It doesn't.
Wow.
Not only do I not do that, I didn't need to do that. Like there's plenty of women in New York. You know what I mean? Plenty of women in New
Being
York.
honest.
You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
she didn't need to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that effort, like you said, shows a lot. You know what I mean?
It's a lot, man.
So
makes
good
a
talk.
difference.
I want to basically wrap up this topic by saying that it's yeah, right. I know we have more to go, and it's definitely
We
a good
started
time.
late. We started late.
Oh, okay, cool. Definitely wanted to go say, hey, listen, ladies out there who are dating, you're trying to find that person. You have to really pay attention to what that specific. That's why we say it's very good to pay attention to what one specific person enjoys versus trying to cast a net and trying to find a whole slew. Why? Because what that means for you, those boxers and the gifts and those things I can ask my wife right now, babe. When did you know? When do I always tell you I fell in love with you the first time? So you can say this loud. That what's loud? I said you can say loud. The food. The first time she cooked for me was the first time I knew that I was like, I gotta be with this woman. Why? Because she made, to me, and I didn't even know her, she made what I considered soul food. She made Haitian food, traditional Haitian food for me to try. I was just like, okay. I was like, stop. But basically, she took the time to find out specifically what I enjoyed and what I liked. And the quickest way to my heart, and I tell everybody that, or I used to tell everybody that, was through my stomach. And I'm sorry, but you feed me, and you feed me the right food and the nourishment that I need, and I'm sold. I'm in. I'm here. I'm doing this. So that was what was specific to grab my attention in a way that no other woman had at that time. So it's very important for and that's why I big up your young lady for doing that very specific, very intricate thing of going, I'm going to go, I just met this man. I don't even really know this man. I'm going to go see this man, and I'm going to inject myself.
She came sick. She came sick as hell. She came sick. She pulled up.
That's that Panamanian.
She talking to. That's not Panamanian. I took care of
Panamanians do stuff like that, bro.
I took care of her the whole time.
Because we always serve it,
And that's a beautiful starting point in a relationship, because that's natural. That's that's vulnerable.
Yeah.
That is everything that you want out of a person, without them, without the looks, without the glamour, without the glitz. This is the reason why I'm not big into makeup, because that's the glitz, that's the glamour, that's what you put in front of everybody else. No, I want to see what I want to see what's behind. Why you in the kitchen? I don't know. I just happen to be in New York. What?
I think it did help. I think it did help.
I just so happen to be in New York.
I think it helped because it also showed her. She made the effort to come see me, but it also showed her I was willing to take care of her.
Talk your talk.
What you did? What you did? What you did to take care of?
You found out the soup?
Bullet point.
Medication, foot rubs, massages.
Brooklyn.
I know that. I'm happy she came sick. Talk your talk.
Show her what it is.
I can show her like, yo, what it is, yo. You know what I mean?
Take care of you.
Yeah.
I'm not some hood ass nigga, bro. I could do this.
Yeah,
I could do this.
yeah.
So you sick? You good? What's up? I got you.
Speaking on, we're gonna move on from that. Like Jerry said, good point, Jerry. Speaking on that, something that we were discussing today, me and her, is I explained to her that two things. But I'm gonna go focus on one at first. When you're in a relationship, I feel like men often, at least for myself, I've been very afraid of routine. However, I also am very aware that routine is how life goes for the most part. But when you're first dating somebody, you try to keep everything super exciting.
Yep.
You try to keep everything but keeping everything super exciting can be
work.
It's work. It's fine. It's money.
Time, money, energy.
All of that.
All of
that. And I had to literally ask her, if I wasn't around and you weren't like going on dates, what would you be doing on a normal day? And she explained to me this is what she would be doing on a normal day, and I said, I think a relationship works best when you can do those normal things you do on a regular day with somebody else. So I wanted to pose a question to you guys: is routine a good thing? Like, would you be okay with your partner understanding that, hey, we may not go out Monday through Friday, we're gonna go out on Saturday, and then after that Sunday y'all do church, so y'all do your church, but after that, for the most part, we're gonna go through our regular routine. You're gonna go to work, I'm gonna go to work, we're gonna come home with our CV, lay up, and could you be happy with that person doing that? Because I've been in situations where a girl would say, I'm bored. Social media doesn't help.
Because they're not popping bottles at the club.
Social media doesn't help. Social media doesn't help because you see stuff on social media where people are doing all these different things. Something I learned from his wife. She said she doesn't really do social media because it kind of gave her anxiety seeing all these people doing all these things that she's not doing. And I'm like, You don't need. I like one. Y'all got the. You know what I mean? And she always gets off because of that shit.
Yeah, I'm off for right now.
Yeah.
You need breaks. Like that's just.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
Please.
if I can jump.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Okay. So the whole idea of having a routine, I would say that you don't really get into that until you really dive into the dynamics of a relationship, a healthy relationship, right? Because you know what I mean, like the glitz and the glam of when you're getting to know somebody. When you we learn in church, right? There's stages in relationships, right? There's someone who's a friend, who's an acquaintance. There's different levels. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. There's levels of intimacy.
Okay.
Right? So, I'm going to say this all wrong, so please don't quote me, but I'm just naming a couple that I semi-remember. One is going to be like a friendship. I'm sorry, an acquaintance. Then a friendship. Then there's deeper intimacy. Then there's this, and etc. Once you get to a certain level, you're going to see things that you wouldn't have seen at the other. So when we dive into, all right, we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, we're going to see certain things that we wouldn't have seen when we were just friends.
Yes, very true.
Right? So I think that it's your willingness to grow and develop with that person at each level and at each stage of your relationship. So I was willing to get with Eric when we were vibrant and we're friends, we're getting to know each other. It was always, something going on. Then, all right, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Now let's build this. Who are you? What's your favorite color? How do you act when you're mad? How do you act when you're sad, etc. Now, okay, next, we're living together now. Once we're engaged. Okay, who are you? Like, are you somebody that you put the toilet seat down? Do you remember to flush the toilet? Okay, are you someone who does the dishes before you go to bed, or do you like to put them? Or you like to do the dishes when you get up in the morning, right? Do you take out the garbage without me asking? Like, what are certain, And then now that we're into regular life, you're a working professional, as am I. How does this work? Dynamic to dynamic. Am I cooking every day? Are you cooking Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe I cook on a Monday, and I come in late? You know what I mean? So I think.
Speak on 1408.
I think it's an adjustment, yes, babe. So, when we first got married, Eric, I think he was surprised by the fact that my job required me to come in late almost every night.
Let's talk about it.
So,
Let's get there.
to someone
Listen,
that...
my wife works overnights. I get it.
Right?
I
To someone that who was used to maybe different meals every one or
My
2
mom
days.
cooked 4 times a week, bro.
Right? Who was used to different meals.
Uh-huh.
I grew up, my grandmother worked overnights. So if she cooked
2
Mondays,
different lives.
bro, I was eating what she ate on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Not me.
And I was used to that. And it was regular for me. Like, all right, hey boo, when you get home from school, what I made is in the week.
Eat it up.
I had to adjust to, hey Papa, yo, I'm working late tonight. Like,
I can't get
what's
to it.
in there is there, or pick up something. You know what I mean? So we had to
Or-
adjust. Or he had,
You
My man Eric got something to say. He said,
or
Yo,
you
put the
something.
apron on and you make the food. So when she come in the crib,
Correct.
she ain't gotta make the food, and I gotta wait till
and
10 o'clock
knowing
to
that,
eat.
right?
Talking
But then
to
you
her.
get the men who are so dependent
Talking
They'll
to
wait.
the spouse
They'll
that
wait.
that your boys, and I don't want to say, you know what I'm saying, I'm saying your boys to be kind. Your boys
Yo, man.
will then be like, I ain't eat all day. It's 11 o'clock, bro. You telling me you couldn't find yourself something to eat, knowing I had to work all day? What men
down,
do
girl.
that? There are a lot of men. Anyway, I feel like I'm saying you have to be.
you about to get the girls riled up in here. The girls are starting to get charged up.
You gotta
They're
be
like,
willing to adjust to the daily, the regular, and the irregular. And I think it's a willingness.
Yeah.
And I'll end with that.
I'm a
Talk
flip
it.
Before
it.
you go,
Talk it up.
do you feel as though your relationship is? Do you feel like your relationship is stronger when you? Because I'm talking about the mundane. I respect everything you said, but I'm talking about the mundane.
Okay.
Because I feel like I've been in situations where I like even amongst friends where a girl will say like, "Oh, I'm dating this guy," but things it kind of fizzled out. He kind of got boring. Like we stopped going out. And I'm like, going out all the time is not sustainable.
Correct.
So what I'm asking
is
is
definitely
what
not
I'm asking is do you feel a relationship is stronger when you can go through the mundane parts of life, because life overall is mundane. Like
Correct.
It's routine.
It is.
It's routine.
Discipline.
Exactly.
Right.
So now, what I'm asking is, do you feel as though a relationship is stronger when you can go through that mundane routine together?
Yes. 1,000%. If I can get with
I
you through the
disagree.
mundane, all right,
You
we gonna
disagree?
battle right now.
Perfect.
If I can get with you through the mundane stuff, then when it's lit, it's lit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if I can get to you when you like when you couldn't get a feeling, or when you maybe didn't cook for the week, or maybe when the laundry piled up, or when maybe you get a little messy, or you know, your everyday life. That's how you know I'm rocking with you, like hard body. So that's what I believe. I can get through the mundane. I can get through the
time.
excitement. Correct.
That's what you
And
call in the
disagree.
trenches. That's what you
Yes.
call being with me in the trenches.
In the trench when it was low, when it's low, it's low.
When it's low.
Yes.
So I agree to disagree, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a word in there: flexibility, right? Every day is
Don't
a
tell
new.
my business.
Every day is a new day. You said let's keep
She
it
said,
icy.
yo, listen. Listen to what the young lady said. I know.
Let's keep it icy, right?
Talk to me nice is what she just said. Just
Don't tell
Here
my
we go.
business.
You wanna be married?
This Sonic
you mad Brooklyn.
2020.
You are extremely Brooklyn. You are
Here we go.
extremely Brooklyn.
The person you're married to yesterday can change literally the next morning.
Talk your talk.
Right?
Talk your talk. Talk your talk.
You like who? Listen.
Who's this?
Are you okay? So
Calling
routine,
for my wife from yesterday.
flexibility, and
That is
adjusting, right? You go a full day expecting a specific action,
Talk your talk.
and it don't happen the way you set up in the beginning.
Yo,
You didn't do what you said you was gonna do. What are we doing?
what are we doing now? What's going on?
I think you look at a different aspect though.
Six. If I am, I apologize.
It's fine.
Second
No,
thing is, like when it's flexible, the expectation is lower, right? Like you're not blaming like when things don't, like I said, happen. You said you was going to blah, 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 with this building. You start to do all of this instead of just like, all right, what do we got to do now? Or even at the nighttime.
Which is fire, by the way.
If you used to smashing every day, let's bring the sex in there. Routine is all right. Top, bottom. You go to sleep first. I go to sleep second.
Well, I wasn't talking about
Yo, my man!
Let's bring it in there.
My man said top, bottom, you go sleep first, I go sleep.
Some marriages have a routine sex life.
Talk
bro.
about, no, talk
So
your
what
talk.
I do,
Talk your talk. Talk
what
your
I
talk.
do, brothers,
keep hanging off this shit. Like,
what I do to throw some nuggets in there
Switch it up.
at lunchtime, honey, I'm on my way home. Say what's up.
What's up?
I come home for lunch.
Your lunch is your lunch. You do what
Listen.
you do all the time. You married.
Let's get it, and I gotta go back to work. She can't resist it. She busy. She like, damn. Let's
I'm
hurry
gonna take
up.
my lunch now.
Let's hurry up. Let's put a towel down, and let's do our damn thing.
Listen, you talking too much business. You talking too much business.
Put a towel. This
Panama can't come out. Panama can't come out right now.
This for the married
that might be
people.
the doubt.
This for the married people.
Eric, I agree with you only because I've said this on the show before while we've had this conversation. I've been the one saying, yo, when it comes to marriage, it doesn't work the way that you guys think it works, where it's
Every
you're
day is
going
a
to
new day.
get it. Yo, every day
You
is
know
a
that.
different and new day, bro.
No.
But
I don't know. It's different.
Some-
He's saying
listen.
it doesn't happen every day.
yeah, it doesn't happen every day. It doesn't
Y'all don't
happen
have
every day.
kids. Y'all don't have kids.
What I'm saying.
Wait.
So you would disagree?
I'ma jump in.
What I'm saying about sex every day is for me.
No, I'm saying what it is. It's flexible as far as today.
I'm tired.
No.
Like,
No,
What
we
I'm,
talking
what I'm
about?
saying is,
Go ahead.
what I'm saying is that usually when it comes down to like, we try to build this routine, right? My wife and I try to build this routine where we are putting our intimacy at the forefront, right? It's something that we put behind because of our children. We
yes.
definitely put our children in front of the intimate part of, or being spontaneous, or doing those things that we did before the children, right? remind you, we had our first child a year, not even a year
got
into
married.
being married, right? So we got married, had like 5-6 months of straight bliss, and then by month 8, yo, babe, we was shooting the club up. It's time, and I'm like, oh word, yeah, we all having fun now. Since God said it's okay, we could do this. So now we're doing it. So what I'm saying is that, you know, sex is not something that we necessarily know we're getting at any point in time throughout the week, right? I always say, or at least I tell the fellas that, yo, honestly, when you are single, you can control that a little bit more, a little bit better.
Yeah.
But when you are in a marriage, it doesn't work out that way sometimes. So sometimes, and I remember saying this on the show, my man Rich made that a clip. He was like, yo, I sometimes you just on a random Tuesday while the kids are at work and you got some time and you got to come home real quick. Yo, babe, let's get this in now. Let's do this now. So that we can make sure we get back so that we're not constantly putting the intimacy at the back end of our lives. Because it is very important for me, it's very, very important for my wife.
If that's your man,
I do want to
tag him in.
I do want to refocus real quick.
Right, yes.
I was talking more so about when you guys first started dating. Matter of fact, courting. When a man is courting, they're usually doing things that necessarily would not happen on a day-to-day basis. That's why I said talking about your day-to-day basis. I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about.
Gotcha.
I'm not talking about her not doing what you expect of her. I'm not talking about routines in that sense. I'm talking about your routine day. Like, it's if you were not married, you'd go to work.
Yep.
Probably play some sports maybe, or if you're at the video game, play a couple of video games. Go to bed, wake up, do the same shit.
Same thing every day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But now when you're courting, it's like, I'm not gonna play no video game. I'm about to take my shorty out. I'm gonna take my shorty out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. That's not sustainable. In all reality,
That's true.
that's not sustainable because you don't go out every day if you weren't with her. So what I was asking is, what made you like? Well, she already answered. She was saying that she's okay with, and the fact you said in the trenches. I'm okay with getting off of work, coming home, and just being home with you until the day that we do turn up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people have given up on a lot of relationships that had a lot of potential because it was like, oh, the last guy I dated took me out every weekend.
Every weekend.
And it's like,
he was a trapper and he wasn't really into you like that. Like,
you know what I mean?
Let's weigh this out.
Like what? Here's a good question. What does the Monday look like to you guys?
What does the mundane look like for you?
I
You
would
want to answer that? Oh, okay.
I was just trying to answer the question.
shoot. I'm still back to every day is a different day.
Go from what it looks like in a week where
Yeah,
you're
your
in
ideal.
school,
Okay.
I'm at work,
All right, here we go.
and the family we're in the house. So give the dynamics
I get
of the
up
house.
first.
You can give the dynamics of the house
got
that
you.
we're in right
I
now.
got you.
Yeah, no towels involved. You don't have to talk about towels.
Got it.
dead.
Got it. I get up. I get dressed. I always kiss her before I leave the crib. That's. Is that an unspoken?
No, baby,
we
it's
just-
like you naturally do.
I don't never
Regardless
leave
if
the
I'm
house.
regardless if I'm zombie or not.
Shit.
I'll be zombie. I can say I'll be like,
mix.
You don't get that?
I hug her.
Yo,
kiss her.
I wake up at 4 a.m. to go to work.
I
Sometimes
cannot
5
leave
in the morning.
No, but
my shorty's
but here's my thing.
I don't get to kiss.
When I
I
tell
can't
you-
even kiss. But I'm
I can't
realizing
remember.
that that's.
But can I jump in?
I want to kiss her
Can I
before
jump
I
in?
go, even if she's knocked out. That's
Can I
cool.
jump in? Even when if I am asleep,
I'll still kiss her.
he'll come.
I need to.
And like that's a beautiful thing.
I
And
need to
like
do
there's
that.
moments where I might wake up for a second. You know, I'm slightly narcoleptic, so he'll come and be like this, and
another guy.
I might get up
That's
like I might get up for a second like this is thriller, and then
Yo,
no,
can I just say? Can I just say?
I'm like.
Can I say?
Yo, she hit you with the zombie.
You feel me?
Your significant other will give you signs. Khalil used to do you're not gonna say goodbye? Like, you're not gonna kiss me goodbye? So it was ingrained. She does the
I
same
didn't even
thing.
know that I did that.
So she will always,
Crazy.
when I come in and when I leave. When I come in the house, I must acknowledge her. I must give her, she's a physical touch love language. Go ahead.
What about when you get out of work? Do you feel as though you have to? Would you be less happy if on a Monday through Friday if he didn't take you out?
I don't care about that. No.
Did you?
I think
when
that
did you stop caring about it? If you did ever.
I never really. Anytime that we were able to get together, go out, do whatever, I'm grateful. You know, I think as of recently, now we're more intentional about, we need to make ourselves a priority because we were not. We were not making ourselves a priority. So
people draining us.
Later on, like earlier on, it was a little different because we went to college together. We turned up together. Like, it was a natural thing. Then when we started dating, it was like, okay, now we're intentionally going out so we can get to know each other. Then once we got together, it was like socially, we might go to a birthday party, we might this, but it wasn't like he gonna take me out every week because guess what? We had a long distance relationship. He was up 4 hours away in upstate New York, and I'm downstate. So like we made adjustments. Like we'll be on the phone at night, we'll talk, whatever. So going out for me wasn't like a dang, I can't do this because I can't go. You know, I'm not that type of person. But now when we're talking about the like mundane things of life, we are. It's a little different for us because our situation is very unique, right? We live in a house with our siblings and our parents.
The house is different layers.
It's different layers to where we are. So we make adjustments to that, and even him making that intention of saying like, I'm gonna kiss you when I leave, and then when I come in, you're gonna be the first person that I see. That's enough.
I go straight to her with my work bag.
Yeah, carrying it. You know what I mean? So
tired
those
too.
things.
Where's my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
I love that you said that. Like, yo, dang, like I could do that because you can, whether she sees it or not. You see it.
Can I throw a quote in there?
Yeah, Papa.
I'm reading the book Atomic Habits. If you go get it, that book said, "It's not that you have to; it's that you get to."
Whoa.
It changed my whole perspective about my wife because I was like, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, I'm tired. Now I gotta go home and be a husband. I'm tired.
You get to be a husband.
But I get to be a husband, and I don't have to. I gotta wash dishes. I got.
Good, baby.
And I was like, yo, I just feel drained, overwhelmed. Like I'm just too many things to too many people. But I gotta bring my best self to her. Like I can't be just giving her 0% or 1%. That's not fair.
Beautiful.
So
That's beautiful.
Nah, listen, because we are getting close to the wrap
We're
up.
getting close.
for
We're
sure.
getting close.
Because I was gonna wrap it up at 8:45 since we started at 6:30 or whatnot. I had a couple.
I got one
questions.
more. Yeah.
Oh, then you
If
go
we
ahead.
gotta get to it, let's get to it. We close it.
I got one
The show is more so for
Part two?
Yeah, sure.
Yo, we definitely want.
We definitely want people to come back.
Make some noise for Erica Kalia. Y'all
Before you go, your wife didn't have something that she
Yes.
So to talk about the routine.
Can you speak up though?
Please.
Yeah. So let's talk about the routine. I feel like, I love my routine. I don't want to ever, change it or anything like that. I feel like it's more of, because I know the routine, I know that on a Tuesday I'm off. So I'm going to plan and be like, oh, babe, like, you don't got to go work today. Like, this morning you don't got to go do this. Because then I know that I'm off, or I have, another day off, or if I'm changing my day, then I know that we can do something spontaneous because those days are specific.
Yeah.
So I think that, with the routine, it's great to have, because then you can add the little spontaneous things in there, Like this week we did spontaneous things when he was just like, babe, what? We're going where? And I was just like, yeah, we just doing things, and he was just like,
Usually I'm at work at this time. What's going on?
Y'all was at a concert.
Yeah, right. Yo, she took me to the 50 Cent concert.
I saw that.
Oh my God.
Girl, you did it like Queens.
Pirates. G-Unit was an intricate part of my teenage years, bro. I had G-Unit sneakers. I didn't wear my. I didn't wear it.
Okay, the 50 Cent with the multicolored joint.
I wanted to have a bulletproof vest. I wanted to do the bulletproof vest, bro. I wanted to be like, yo. But nah, it was legit. It was legit. And shout out to E, because she was the person like I asked around my wife, because I knew that my wife has a routine and that she doesn't normally budge out of that routine, and I know that a concert costs money and I'm not gonna bother. So in front of my wife, I asked E, I was like, yo, E, do you know if you have any connects to get me to the 50 Cent? Because I would love to go to Barclays. And then my wife was just like, heard that, and then she, you know, and then
That's exactly what thoughtful was.
There we go.
you just put that in. I love it, man. So it was honestly beautiful.
Love
beautiful. I love my
languages is
wife.
big. Love
He
languages
did-
are
he
big.
did because he communicated. Because
There we go.
So I was assistant manager, so now I am the manager of a house.
Shout out to Rich.
Shout out to me.
comes
Shout out to
with
the
a
manager
lot.
at that.
They used to be,
Yeah.
yeah. They used to be, yeah.
And
They
so
worked
becoming
together.
the manager, it's been taking a toll on me and my family. And
Yeah.
he communicates and he just says, "Yo, babe, like I don't want that to be like I don't want us, your family, to be number 2. We got to be number 1." And I'm like, "Damn, all right, I got to
Beautiful.
figure out how to keep them number 1."
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
good.
you know, taking him to the 50th concert on Friday, saying, "Let's go to the drive-in movie, take the kids to see, you know,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go watch it. It's
Let's go.
great.
Like,
It's
Mission Impossible. I'm talking about.
Oh, Mission Impossible. I thought
Look at
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is great.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
It's great. It's great. It's great. Family movie. It's a great movie. If you grew up with that, with
very
the
cute.
cartoon, it's
Love
very
it.
cute. Very cute. Very
Aw.
cute. Very cute.
but doing that is awesome. Like, you know, being able to do that.
Speaking on what she said or whatnot, she said her routine allowed her to have the exciting moments. So I wanted to ask you guys. This is not. I have 2 more questions. Damn, I don't think we're gonna do our classics today. We're not gonna do the classics. Today.
Dang, come on, guys. You gotta do it right.
All right.
It's okay.
Trouble. You can't not do classics. A little longer, but
You know, in church, when somebody, we got a funeral, they be like 2-minute remarks.
Yeah.
Let's do 2-minute remarks from now on. Like
That's
2
it.
minutes or less.
No, we can run a little longer.
we run a little longer. Yo, for real, for us. There's a lot of firsts
Because
tonight.
our first
There's a lot of
married
firsts
couple.
tonight.
All right, so I'm gonna go through my questions. I was gonna ask you guys, how do you keep the excitement going?
No, I went
That
first.
was your question.
All right. That was a question.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that was definitely. No, go for it.
No, I'm saying, was that your question?
I'm gonna piggyback.
Oh.
I got I'm gonna piggyback.
All right.
But go ahead.
Excitement. So I affirm her, because it's like excitement is like from happiness, right? You kind of get that joy in her. So I affirm her as much as I can. If I forget, she'll tell me.
Mm-hmm.
How do I look? Literally, like put something on, like, babe,
What you think?
what you think? That's a sign, right, fellas? They give you signs. So
Pay attention.
Pay
You ain't
attention,
lying.
please.
You ain't lying, my dude.
Don't be like playing the video like, you look good, huh?
Right.
I used to miss those signs. I'm like, I used to be like, yeah, but yo, babe, you're beautiful.
It's a sign.
You're beautiful. You're left, flank left.
Wildin'.
Yo, how you go?
I used to jump in the game. Side note.
All right, go ahead.
I affirm her. Dates. So it's another wisdom that I was taught. You never stop dating, right?
Always my boyfriend.
That's we always say that.
I'm gonna start calling you Brooklyn because always my boyfriend. Always. Just always my boyfriend.
always dating, finding new spots. We're trying our best to like travel abroad, but still intentionally finding new places in the States.
In the States. Yeah.
Our anniversary, we were in New York City, like at Margaritaville Hotel.
Hey.
Going wild,
That's
crazy.
fun.
Talk it. Like we need to take a trip together. Y'all do it up. Y'all do it up, though.
Yo, for her birthday, we were in an Airbnb in Brooklyn. Like
Nice.
nice, just
Don't guys
and it was turned like it just.
We had a
that
great
contact.
time. Yeah, Miss Lane, we'll have a great time.
We need to.
So and then it's the when we're doing things for each other. So like when she cooks, I make sure that I say, babe, this is slamming. Not because I'm hyping her up, but like,
Should be slamming.
yo, like it's
Should be
excitement.
slamming.
It's excitement. I love that physical touch is her love language, and I'm gonna stop there.
Okay.
My man dropped the mic on it too. Look, physical touch.
Bow.
You need a hug.
You know,
Let's get it going.
How do you keep the excitement going for him?
I gotta be honest with you. I pay attention to what he likes, right, and what his I hate to be like cliche, but like when you really pay attention to your significant other's love language and what gets them going, I realize that, and this is gonna sound so cheesy, but like when he sees I'm happy with me, he's happy.
There you go.
And so he feeds into
There you
he sees that, listen, when my hair is done, I feel good. So I treat him good. When my nails are, like, not saying that he does that, but when I have the time to do that for myself when I take, you know what I mean? Those things. When I'm able to like, you know, just spontaneously, like I'll get dressed for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean dressed in the street and also at home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like,
I'll come back in the room.
We talking role
When
play?
did this happen?
yeah, like all that. You know what I mean? Like I'm balancing it. I'm like, do me a favor. I'll be like, I'll use an example. I'll text him. I'll be like, wait downstairs for 10
Yeah,
more
give me a
minutes.
second.
I'll let you
she'll
know.
lock the door on me.
I'll lock the door. I'll be like, I'll let you
And
know
I gotta
when to
stand
come
outside
in.
and wait.
That's dope.
Music's cute.
Dope.
Everything, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
it's live.
so,
It's
and mind
great.
you, and I'm gonna be honest, we live in our house
Blindfold.
with, you know, my mother-in-love,
Eric, stop talking.
two sisters in love, our nieces and nephews. We all live in a whole house
That's
together.
beautiful, man.
So we
That's
have
beautiful.
to, at this point, be very creative and intentional about how we spend our time. So I make the effort to do that, and I see that what moves. You know what I mean? Like you just I watch, observe, I take notes, and also gift giving is my thing. So I do
Yes,
that naturally.
that's a big thing for her.
So gift giving, you know, like that's how I keep it exciting. Or also like surprises. Very big on surprises, like, honey, I bought you something. Wait till you get home. Like, I left it on the bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or little things like that. It could be something small as, I know he liked Taco Bell, the quesadilla number 7 with a Pepsi and an extra sauce.
You better get it, man.
You know what I'm saying? And a soft taco.
Yo, you mess with a Crunchwrap Supreme, bro?
No, Gordita, cheesy Gordita crunch.
You a
gotta have
Gordita
that.
Crunch kind of
You know what I'm saying?
guy.
Like, little things
Bro,
like
she
that.
did that. when we were
Oh my
friends.
God.
She did this when we were friends.
You bring me
Oxtails? Bro, Jamaican
But that's
oxtails.
valid.
Some good
That's valid.
Jamaican
What you
oxtails.
She
like.
didn't do that in marriage. She did that before the marriage.
Before, of course.
She drove to Cortland where I was working and brought me my favorite taco meal, bro.
Oh yeah,
Like-
you guys are right.
You different. Like I just. She's like, oh, I got
Are
you
y'all
some.
paying attention? 5 years married, guys. Pay attention, please.
Here's another one.
Pay attention, please.
Here's another key part about excitement.
Simple.
How she treats my family.
You talk.
If listen, like I'm very protective because I grew up with females.
Same here.
And I have another female that's living with me, which is my wife. When I'm not home, what's the vibe like? Is everybody in their room and just like not talking?
Oof.
Sis is helping and throwing birthdays and Kalia. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
You fit.
Everybody's vibing.
You fit. When I'm with her family, each family ignores the other person. When I'm with her family, they don't see her. They see me. Eric. My family, all my nieces and nephews, hey, uncle, auntie. I'm like, God,
You be getting on my nerves a little bit. I mean, you do me first. You do me first, bro.
like, but I love that. That excites me. That recently, my wife had her clothes. Can I bring it up? Y'all washed every single clothing that was dirty. She had like 3 bags. Not only did I wash it, I folded every piece.
5 hours.
Bro, I spent one day.
Ladies on the couch are crossing their legs. Oh my god.
One
Oh my
day.
god.
No, exactly like,
Oh my god.
hobbies.
Oh my god. That is a love language all over the tongue. Oh yeah, folding clothes.
Because I knew it was something that she was struggling to do.
My wife loves when I fold. You folded the clothes.
Listen, folded it neatly on the couch. I said, babe, here are the sweat. Like I literally organized it. I said, I can't wait for her to see
But
it.
she doesn't like the way I fold though.
Yeah.
We gonna talk about that after. That's after. That's after.
And
the show.
I knew what not to put in the dryer.
Yeah, he knew certain things.
Damn,
I ain't
that's a big
dry.
part, bro.
Your
I throw
man-
everything.
You gotta pay attention.
Yeah,
You gotta pay attention.
I know how we got air dry.
Yo, if you don't know,
Certain panties, you can't just throw in the dryer. I didn't know that.
I didn't know about panties.
I didn't know about that. The lace joints get tangled. You can't.
Thank you.
Oh my
And especially if you wear stockings. I know we digressing, but you know.
I haven't gotten to that level in my current relationship.
But you will. Get there, you get there.
But when you get there, pay attention. Pay attention.
Oh no, I'm aware of these things. I'm aware. Like for example, my shorty don't iron at all. She just
I iron.
thank you. What's the problem with?
Why you ironing your t-shirt?
They don't iron. It's not even that they don't iron.
Look at that. See?
It's not even that they don't iron. They don't iron well. My wife doesn't do it well. She just doesn't do it.
Don't do that.
Doesn't iron well, bro.
My grandmother used to want creases in the middle of the pants.
Right.
So I knew how to iron that.
I need the church pants crease. I need it.
Starch.
I never said point. I need my point of look. Point in your direction. I need a point in this way.
Let's talk about it. If you ain't grow up like that, don't give my girl some credit. You know
Let
me?
me throw some.
Oh
Let me throw some
used
there.
to iron his pants.
Exactly, bro.
Let me help the ladies out.
Listen, I learned how to iron from a young age.
My
man.
wife buys all my nice clothes.
Yeah.
Nothing I like. Nah, I bought this. Nothing
Talk
I.
it. You shoes? She got your shoes?
Those are wedding shoes.
I picked them out.
She picked them up. But seriously, like, she is the eyes to what she wants. So she's teaching me from what I want to see. I'm learning. She said, "Don't buy me shoes. Don't ever buy me shoes." That's another personal. But I learned that. Remember the first boots? I bought her boots.
Oh, yeah.
She said, she tried to put it on. She's like, "Baby, it don't fit. You know." But I was so excited to.
All right.
So happy to
All right, my wife is on that
She's
couch
like-
bugging
she's
because
like,
I
my calf
definitely
don't
made that
fit,
mistake. I was like, yo, these shoes look good, but they don't fit, babe. But that's good. That's okay. You tried, and then she'll hit you up with that passive aggressive. You tried, babe.
That's what she did.
You gave me good effort.
Bring them with you. Bring them with you.
Bring them with
But I am the reason my wife wore red bottoms for the first time ever. So
Big
I mean, I give her that much. You know what I mean?
So I buy the lingerie, the bras and panties. So what was that moment? I went to somewhere she buys and stuff, and I brought a sister with me. I said, "You take me around to a spot. I know the sizes, thank God, because you know they put it on. You're like, you did it.
That's the worst part, bro. That's the worst part.
It's expensive.
The worst part when you
I
like,
know.
I thought
Listen
you
to
were a
this.
5'6".
The underneath garments have other underneath garments. So all my young brothers, there's more to just bra and panties. That's just little.
No, but when I'm
It's
just
expensive too.
I'm gonna conclude what you just said, and then we can move on to. They had a last question.
That's why I like the moo by the way.
Was the fact that when you make the effort to connect with family and people who are
Yes.
connected to you, they're able to not only know you as the spouse or as the person, like they know you personally.
There you go.
So they're able to be like, listen, this is what works, or this is what doesn't, or this is what she likes, or maybe you get so close that you're able to disclose some things to them that you might necessarily say to you. You know what I mean? Like,
what do my sisters call you?
your sisters. Oh, they call me their sister.
Their sister.
Yeah.
Not their sister-in-law, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they developed
I
such a
love them.
strong relationship that she's now a sister.
My wife's sister got pissed at me actually.
Strong.
My wife's sister got pissed at me because I used to introduce her as my wife's sister. And she got mad at me, and that's a big lesson for me.
Wow,
Because
yeah.
I was always like, "Yo, this is my wife's sister,"
Yeah,
and then she had to pull me to the side. She was like, "Yo, you've been married to my sister now 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
like,
you're my brother.
You're my brother. Like, well, why are we even doing this?" And I was just like, "I'm sorry. I didn't want to, automatically inject myself into being your brother." And she was like, "Nah, like you're married to my sister. You
my brother.
are my brother. I consider you another brother." So it's definitely important for that connection to happen.
Do you have anything else you want to ask?
Yes, I kind of wanted to. I definitely wanted to get into this. I've been married to my wife 9 years, and July 5th made us 9 years. We're 2024. Get ready, July 5th.
We're July 4th.
Get ready, and y'all gonna be invited because I love y'all. But what do you guys do about the I call them intimacy valleys, right? Where you're like you're on a low, and it's kind of a period of time where the sex, the love, the attention is not quite there. What do you do? Do you reach those points in your marriage, and what do you do to kind of remedy those situations?
Okay. Do you reach them? What do you do? You baby.
So that was recent.
Mm.
I vocalized to her very transparently, like, I need you. As a man, I was never taught to do that. To really reach a point where you can really be honest and show like another side of you, kind of thing. You gotta be strong. You gotta do that whole masculinity.
Talk your talk.
But I was like, yo, like, let's sit down, because like my love language, I had to revisit my love language and say, like, I need your presence, your emotional presence, your just a quality time. Not
Touch,
this,
time, all
not
of
sex. I'm gonna put that out there. because we doing enough of that. But I need us to just be with each other and reconnect, get that fire back in there. Because I'm like, when my wife goes, and I know her personality, somebody has to rear her back in. And I've noticed that I've paid attention. That's my new job. My wife is such a giver, and sometimes the giving becomes not a blessing but a burden. And I don't want anybody else to take advantage of my wife, because we're both yes men, and we're learning to not do that. But
It's okay to say
when we
no.
go too far,
to say no.
when we go too far,
Shout out to you for that.
I have to have the courage. That's the biggest one, because I'll be like, dang, I don't want to.
I don't want to
Just-
disappoint.
Yeah, like she's in the
people
flow. She's chilling. She's giving. She's loving what she's doing, but she don't know she going in a destructive way or that. So I'll be like, talk your talk. Like, you gotta speak to your wife, babe. Sit down. Let's talk. I'm not right. We not right. Let's get this back on track. Like, and it's not really about the intimacy part. It's just like, where are we? Let's have a meeting. It's a meeting. Let's reflect on what's going well, what do we need to work on. But I need you, and my love language is the quality time. And then she'll vocalize now.
How it's going.
Shout out to Darkskin Randy. He mentioned that on his podcast Band Talk, how you need like a relationship report card where you kind of have to come together and kind of go, hey, listen, like what was positive about our week this week? What was
Check-ins.
negative? What was
Yeah.
Like
it's
a
a relationship report, a progress report,
Yeah.
kind of every month, or you could do it once or
You
twice a
have to.
month, or
You have to.
every 3 months.
If you wanna
However you
last,
agree.
If you want to last,
Relationship
Good.
report card.
You better
Report card.
do it.
Shout out to Darkskin Randy.
Oh,
Shout out
he's
to
Darkskin Randy.
Band
That's
Talk, his
fire.
podcast. Yeah, he's
Check that out, Band Talk.
Absolutely. Him and his wife, they have a podcast where they ask married couples. So I'm definitely gonna shoot them y'all information because y'all are dope as hell.
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
and get on that. But it's
Listen.
very important. You're right. You're right about that.
especially for busy bodies.
Yeah.
Like, we got careers.
Yeah.
Like,
And like
crazy.
with your question, like when we were talking about like intimacy and like when it's lacking, or like how do you keep it going, and again, like, let's just preface, there's different levels of intimacy.
Yes,
Right? Like
yes.
there is physical intimacy, there's emotional intimacy,
Talk your talk.
there is like, just intellectual intimacy. Like, where
Talk your
are we
talk.
like here? Where are we here, and where are we down there? Like, and that's the fact. Sometimes they all line up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes one is a little more simulated than the other.
Yes.
And you have to be okay with that. And I'll give an example of when I was going through a very, like, I want to say dark, like, period in my life where I was just like super depressed and my libido was like at the lowest I would have ever thought. This man was so connected to me on an intimate level, emotionally and mentally, that the physical didn't even matter. He was able to say, like, damn, like, even though I'm not getting you physically, I'm okay with working with you so that you get better mentally and emotionally,
So that the
that
physical-
when the physical happens, it is great for the both of us. And so I want you to be okay mentally and emotionally before the physical. Like, he withstood that, and I'm just like, damn, like, once he did that, like, I knew before, but once he did that, I'm like,
the physical was
yo,
popping.
it was popping.
The
Like,
physical got popping.
it was popping because he helped to get me back to where I was able to be like, yeah, the physical is now on and popping, So I would say that what you do to work through the dark moments and what you do to get back to the light, it makes all the difference. And you just, like we talked about before previously, like, you keep it exciting, you make it fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have to role play, if you have to, like,
like
we
a
can
little
get to the other situations are a little bit different, but like, whatever you build with each other is what matters. What works for y'all is what works for y'all, right?
that's what
However
for
you
you.
do it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. Swinging from
Short
the
of putting my
chandelier.
thing in a pizza box and
Swinging from-
opening it, I'm definitely down for the
Yo,
for the role.
I was told-
short of doing that.
I was told I was never with
Pepperoni?
her. I was never with her for the sex.
Did you order the pepperoni?
You ordered the penis pop.
Did you order extra sausage?
Did you get beef patty with cocoa bread?
I told her, like literally, I'm not with you for sex. I'm with you to build. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here for like a divine assignment. Like,
Yeah.
I'm assigned to you. And in that dark moment, one of our mentors, one of the ladies, she said to us, Kalia, you're assigned to Eric. Eric is assigned to you. When I'm in my dark moments, do your job.
To get me out of there.
Do your job. When she's in that moment, I recognized it. I said, I took all those hats off because, as we all know, we get so distracted. I'm like, dang, I gotta be everything she needs in every moment.
Right.
Pressure.
And the real question, especially for the next time, is what do you do when you're both in a dark moment?
Woo!
Right?
We're gonna touch
That's what I said.
Go ahead, Rich.
We can talk
Yes,
about
sir. That was the last thing I needed.
That's it.
Right there.
Actually,
We're getting to the
I'm not
classics.
even gonna get to my other question. I'm gonna just
No
add that
problem.
question that you had. Jerry, let's start off with your classic question because we do gotta wrap this
Oh,
up.
classics. Sorry.
Yes, classics. Let's get into the Kim classics. I'm going to ask you, Kalia. Would you rather? I'm going to ask both of you, of course,
Yeah,
individually,
sure.
but you have to answer and tell me why. Would you
Okay.
rather be? And especially with you guys being
Yeah.
married, this is a very, very important question. Would you rather be single and lonely or married and miserable, and why?
Whoa.
Would you rather be
You
single
know I
and
gotta
lonely
research.
And
or
what,
married and miserable, and why?
You got it. If you got it.
And you guys are married,
Second.
so I mean, again, we're not getting ourselves
No,
in
no,
trouble
no, no,
before we
no,
leave
no, no,
this.
single-
This.
and we're not saying your misery comes from your partner. You're just
Okay.
You're miserable.
You don't have to add any of that, but I got you. I got you. I
That was
respect
good.
it.
Perfect. 'Cause I'm like,
Listen, I usually like to say those two words for a
I'm
specific
not saying that
those
he can't
two
be the
words.
reason. I'm
Right.
You're
But
miserable.
it's not necessarily.
You're
They're
married.
the reason.
Would you rather be married and miserable? That's the group that you're a part of, or the single and lonely group.
All right, I got my answer. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, we want to hear your answer.
Yeah, we would
Me
like
first?
to hear you.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. My answer is married and miserable.
Why?
Because the fact that I'm able to have someone
Mm.
that I can lean on, that is my person, regardless of if I'm miserable for whatever aspect, I love that I can reach over, grab his thigh, and say what I need to say, and he's into me, I'm into him, and we know that we have each other.
Go through the misery together.
Yes. He could, you know what I'm saying? Like, as you know, deep folks say, like, if he's the head, pause, I'm the neck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo.
You
but
did
like,
not have to say pause.
I did. I'm from
Y'all
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn folks are
I did,
ridiculous.
I did,
Yo,
bro.
if I'm the head, pause.
Like, if he's the head, I'm the neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the brains, I'm the person that's helping move it around. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather have that than, like, be me, find me.
Talk your
You know what I
talk.
mean? Like, I was me, find me at birth. You know what I'm saying? I'll me, find me through some periods where I might have friends, I might have people, but this is like a spouse. This is somebody who said yes to even marrying you. That means that they see something in you that is just at a whole nother level. That maybe some other people don't necessarily see. So I would rather be married and miserable and able to work it out than be single and lonely. So that's my response.
I'm going with marriage and miserable. Keep it nice and short. Our pastor says, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go somewhere far, go together.
That's good. Hold on.
That was a.
Oh my God! Oh yeah! We're good. Yo, bro, we don't need more after that. We don't need any more after that.
Next classic question.
Yo, go for it. That beautiful, Eric. Beautiful,
Gang, got the hammer and the ring.
What's your most toxic trait?
Talk your talk.
Oh, these are good
That's
questions.
it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's why they're classics.
Kim classics.
You want to go first?
No, Bob.
Yo, notice how she went first for the married and miserable, but she's like, I'm not going first for this one. Go ahead, boo. Go ahead, babe.
Papa, come on.
Toxic trait.
What's your most toxic trait?
Recently, I recently had surgery. Just to preface it, had surgery, so I had a lot of time by myself, and a lot of my triggers and traumas came to the surface. And I recently, the toxic trait was I was bleeding on her, and really didn't know that I was unintentionally, but I couldn't handle what I was dealing with without properly I need a word.
Maternalizing.
Like I was like, oh shoot, it's happened too fast. I need you. But then I was like, dang, but then you're the closest person to me. I was taking a lot of that stuff
out on her.
And then it was weighty. So I was putting all the weight on top of her. And she was like, baby, like, in moments I'd be like, take it now. Like, you're going to listen to me now. She's like, I'm not in position to even hear you or receive. Like, bro, you just said all of that, and I'm not even in the space. I'm tired. So I've learned there's a time and a place. And also, like, you got to preface what you say without saying, like, you did this, right? And I had to catch myself a couple times. I was like, shoot, what do I need to fix first? Like,
stop pointing this way. Stop pointing this way.
Why am I feeling the way? Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? Right? You're not to blame. I always tell her every time we talk. I say you're not to blame for this, but you're attached because you're triggering something that I experienced in the past. So I noticed, like, I was like, damn, I gotta stop bleeding on her unintentionally.
Right. What about you?
Very good. Thank you. So one, I just want you both to know that us doing this right now, like, you have no idea like how on timing it is for the both of us.
Yeah.
To just be able to like vocalize, express, talk, or whatever things that we may not have made the time, right, to really like talk about. And like it's so refreshing. So thank you for that. I just really wanted to say that before it escaped my mind. But in reference to the question, my most toxic trait is I grew up as an only child. So there's times where from when we got together, from when we got engaged to even right to this very day, where I have to realize that what I do affects him regardless. Like any decision I make, any yes I say, any no I say, any financial decision, like I have been so used to doing things on my own to a certain extent, or doing things that gratify me, that they're like, you know, I subconsciously will make a decision or a choice without taking him into consideration, and it ends up hurting him because he's like, how could you not think about me? Like, how did you not consider me? And I'm over here like, when he says that, I'm like, oh my God. But inside I'm just like, inside I'm like, oh my God. But externally I'm like, I don't know how, I don't know. Like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, like, we're here now. You know, and I thank God that he's so patient with me about that, because I'm still learning, and I'm just so I'm super impulsive, you know, like, and I'm just like, yeah, let's do it, you know, and I'm like, shoot, I said let's do it, and I didn't take it into
When is your birthday?
Me? The date or like
when is your birthday?
I don't know, because people are like, no, some people say when's your birthday, and they won't know my sign, like July 23rd.
That's what he was.
That's what
I knew it.
But I'm asking for your birthday.
Crazy. I'm July 23rd. So I am actually. So what they typically, I'm a cusp. I'm a Cancer Leo. That's what they say. I don't fully subscribe to it. I do see truth, but I am I'm the first day of Leo, which means that I'm technically
last day of Cancer. Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you? What's your son?
Libra, October 3rd.
October. Ooh. Two of our children are Libras.
The whole family is.
Woo!
What? So
yes.
Now what you asking me
October
that?
9th
Now I want to know.
17th,
Now I want to know what you think.
Wow.
Like, what is the? Does it make a difference? Or does it help? Like,
we don't like to do the whole zodiac signs, because I definitely used to lie about that whenever I was dating chicks. I would tell them I'm a different sign just to to mess with them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd be like, I'm a Scorpio, absolutely. But born in March, I'm a Pisces. But Look at that. Look at the Tauruses in the room. That's what you would do. Anyway,
Yeah.
my brother is a Leo, and you know, and you share a lot of that, you know, kind of that, you know, that. I don't know, the attitude, it's not even he's not even the only child, but still, I still move the same ways in a lot of ways. All day long. So I just, that's why I wanted to know.
Okay, I got you.
That's why I wanted to know that.
I hope that answered your question. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna save the classics for the next time y'all come back.
Yo, I love that. You gonna remember which classes you did?
I mean, the classics.
They're classics for a reason.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
They're Kim classics. We ask them every time.
Besides that, this has been a very insightful and great episode.
Absolutely.
Shout out to everybody who joined us on YouTube.
Thank you guys.
We're gonna continue with having it on YouTube. Now
Yes.
that the show's over, I can explain. Shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew. I spoke to my boy Eli this weekend, and he expressed to me
Shout
that
out to Eli.
going live on IG. We used to go live on IG, but the thing is, we'll get so many people to join us on the live on IG. They'll see our guests. There's no surprise, so they don't make the trip to YouTube. And we do want to grow more on YouTube, so you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So get on YouTube,
Please.
and make sure I go check out Kalia and Eric.
Please. Are you guys on social media? Or are you guys?
OD, can I do a couple plugs? All right, so
Yes.
my name is Kalia Chronicles, so that's Chronicles with a KH, so KHALIA, and then Chronicles with a KH in front. And so a couple things that I do. I'm definitely like a host. I sing. I like as our Long Island Tuesday family likes to call it, super vibe dealer. And that's what I love to do. And that's my like outside of the professional world. In my heart world, I'm a youth leader. I sing at church. I've been singing there since I was like 10, 13-ish. And so I love to do that. And yeah. Go ahead, Bumpo.
So, she's a vibe dealer. I'm a hope dealer. So I'm a motivational speaker. If you need some encouragement, prayer, whatever it is, I feel like I'm a life coach. I'm not a big social media person.
Okay.
I don't do content, but I will.
They can hit
either
me.
both of us, or you can hit her. But I do want to say,
And
like,
that's Kalia Chronicles.
School-wise,
Correct, Kalia Chronicles.
like, I have stuff, but it's not out yet.
Right.
Like I have stuff like for the kids that you can kind of like donate. I'm taking my students.
So yeah, what's you doing?
12 boys
Okay.
to Africa next
Oh.
year.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Also, hold on, Papa. You're selling yourself short.
Got
He also personally trains,
one person.
right? So, Eric, and I'll share this too, straightforward.
Yes.
I used to be like 100 pounds heavier, and my husband, like, he really walked with me. He talked with me. He helped me work out and like really get into my health. Just in addition to some other things. And so he is definitely an amazing like athlete, health trainer, motivational person. So I wanted to throw that.
Yeah.
too.
So I want people to be the best version of themselves.
I agree with that.
We
talking about that today.
I'm assigned. I feel like my goal or like my audience is young men. Everybody keep telling me, or people my age, like they need an older brother or a father figure or whatever it is. So I'm just taking it upon myself to really pour into young, no matter the color.
Talk your talk.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, because a lot of things we talked about earlier with the man in the house and all that stuff. Even with that, there's still characteristics that our young men don't carry.
You're right.
Respect and,
Absolutely.
and pull your pants up, all that stuff.
Vulnerability.
All that stuff.
Vulnerability
How they
is a
talk
big
to
thing.
females, like it's bigger than just being in the home, because you could be in the home and not in the home.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I just love people. I love to build families. That's another part.
We thank God for our families, by the way.
Yeah.
We love you.
Good talk.
Families build communities. Communities build
Tribe. We're all about tribe.
So-
We're all about tribe.
Shout out to Kalia and Eric.
Thank you.
Listen, as Rich mentioned before, we are definitely moving more towards YouTube, y'all. So all my folks, all my masterminds on IG, please make the move over to YouTube. Again, it is a much better world on YouTube. You can do everything you want to do while having you keep in mind play in the background or in your earpiece or whatever on YouTube. So please Visit our website, y'all. KeepInMindPodcast.com. We have gear, we have shirts, we have, you know what I mean, these nice Keep in Mind shirts. If you want something custom made, if you want like the colors of your flag or something like that on, make sure you hit up the website. My man Rich over here is the guy that designs all of this stuff. So please make sure you let him know. We love you guys. Listen, 6 o'clock every Sunday we are live. We're going to be on YouTube mainly now. So please join us live on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. Listen, shout out again to Eric and Kalia for coming here, man, and 5 years of marriage. Listen, from what I understand, 7 is that number that you're waiting for. Okay, that's what I've been told by wise men before me. 7 is the point at which if you can make 7 years work, then you can last forever with your. So you guys are 2 years. No, I thought it was 5 as well. We thought it was 5 as well. And then we spoke to a married couple that has been married 18 years or something like that, and they were like, no, 7 is the magic number. All right, that's the God number. All right, so that's the that's the reason why that's the numbers. If you could make it 7 years with each other, and you guys are right there.
I mean,
again, continue right, exactly. Then you could last a lifetime. So please,
thank you,
continue,
guys.
y'all. Listen, it's all about connections. Relationships,
Thank you so
baby.
By the way,
Thank you,
so
guys.
this is, I was just being stupid with this. We watched some Korean movie recently, and like all the Korean K-pop people, whenever they they're posing.
When they clap it,
love.
I'm dead.
Oh, that's what they do.
It's a heart. It's a heart.
Oh, this is a heart.
We gotta do a little pose for the thumbnail. We gotta go pose for the thumbnail. Yeah, it's ODR.
The lady said it.
Pose for the thumbnail.
Hey.